Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. It's Mark, your Trucking Answers host, and today we're going to come to you through your eye holes. So, what do we got going on this week? Boy, it's fun out here this week, isn't it? Are we exempt? We're going to be talking about this. We'll probably get one of those COVID things underneath this video as we go along, but that's okay because this is trucking related. So is this. Edward Durr, a truck driver who won a state Senate seat in New Jersey, is already being canceled. We'll talk about that. Oh, and they just found 12,000 more votes in a box somewhere. I swear to you. Hey, we found more votes. Wait a minute. I love it. So, do brokers take too much money? Some people have been griping about that this week. I don't know about that. The infrastructure bills through also, and we have some information about that, how that affects trucking and how it pretty much doesn't affect trucking. Unless trucking includes rural broadband internet and other things. Aurora Horizon CEO speaks about autonomous trucks. Yes, he says, hey, get ready. We have stocks, fuel, and some crypto info, of course. So that's what's going on out there this week. And, of course, whatever all you want to discuss, so what's happening with you in your life and everything else. Number one, I saw this out there, the GP Transco winner. I wanted to talk about that first. Anyways, is out there, hey, email me your address so we can get you your winnings. So email's on the screen. Send me your address and bingo. And that's how we do that. So there we go with that. So that was nice of GP Transco last week to do that. Thank you very much for that. Beautiful and sunny in Southern Illinois is first with George H.W. Bush. I love when the president is here because we're going to talk about presidential things on the podcast. See, I'm already ready for tomorrow on the show because there's a lot going on with the president. So good morning from Tampa and Teamsters Local 79, someone getting paid for their time. James Morrow, thank you for being here today. Okay, George Wilson is here. Kelly Patterson, good afternoon. What's happening? Joan Harper, oh, hello. What's going on down there? Getting chilly out, right? Had to be out there scraping this weekend. What's happening going on with that? The Grumpy Trucker from Menards in Sullivan, Missouri. How's that going? Is that going to be fast? Never loaded at a Menards. Roger Penske's here. What's going on? Creature 937 Garage Door Trucker. Hello, Cassius King Trucking is here. Top of the Wiener to you as always. Jay Yanas, you did not miss it. We are still on time. I hope everybody's their clocks back. I assume everybody will be showing up here at 1:30. So. Trucker Hershey just arrived to load 6th in line, 4 hours. That is awesome. You know, places give you an appointment, they ought to keep their appointment. They're the ones to set the appointment. If they say be here at 4, they should be ready at 4. Okay, or don't set an appointment. Although, I will say this, that sometimes trucking companies, I'm not saying any specific company, but they may give you a time so that you can get there early and they try to get you out knowing your time. Say your actual time is 4. They'll give you an appointment at noon. All right, and they go, well, you know, we thought it was noon or whatever. So I think some of it is on the trucking side. I love the sweet sizzling smell of rolling wieners in the morning, doesn't everybody? We want some answers, Christy. You got them. What do you need an answer for? I'll be able to sit and listen and chat the whole show. Good, Trucker Kirsty. That's good. It's good to see you here. Saw a hotshot with a container and 2 straps. I love it. Pulled by a pickup truck. So that's awesome. Hey, you only need a couple straps, right? Just throw a couple straps over that. You got it made. So no problem with that. Salt and Murray, I believe trucking companies should just pay the drivers instead of pay schemes. I know. Why do they have to make the pay so complicated? I think that's because that way you can't figure it out. So once there's 50 lines on your pay, you pretty much can't figure it out. Just how about just pay you? I can't pick up my wiener with the tongs you used to pick up your wiener. Well, that'd be a real problem on Saturdays, wouldn't it, down there? My wiener rolled back. Yeah, did everybody put their wieners back an hour or two? Yesterday? I hope so. It was great getting all that extra sleep. You didn't recognize me without my thong. Well, you know, it's getting chillier out, so I do sometimes have that, though, in honor of, and it was on the podcast. I was in honor of Brazil, a new country on the podcast. So, Vampirus is here. Hello, Steel Horse. 6 by 14 equals 84. We can't work that many hours. These people on the news are crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And here's the thing. It is, even though it's not the people on the news, although, you know, they should verify this. They talked to some goober truck driver who's like, we work 6 hours a day and it's mandated 14 hours a day. That's not the case. Of course, you're allowed to. And some people said, well, Mark, you know, maybe you misspoke. Okay, All the public knows is what they're told like this. People don't know what the hours are. So if you get somebody out there and you're going to talk about trucking, you should know what you're talking about. Don't misspeak. You can work up to, he should have said, not yet you're mandated. Nobody's mandated to work 14 hours a day. You can quit and not work 14 hours a day. So anyone working in an office where they're in a cubicle by themselves is exempt as far as I know. Guess what? Our cab is our office. Luke, well, that's the thing about this. And I read a thing from an attorney. Okay, wrote a big thing about this. Let's see. Now, I'm not an attorney. I don't know if people know that. I am definitely not an attorney. So just so you know, I'm actually not an attorney. But I'll tell you what I read about from an attorney. And this is going to be in the courts for a while, I think. Yes, we're in the cabs ourselves, and so we should be exempt. But what this attorney said is it would exempt you as long as you don't have contact with other people or go in your office. So because he suggested that in your cab, you're regulated by the Department of Transportation, but when you go on a dock, you're regulated by OSHA. So what he suggested is as long as you stay in your cab, yes, you'll be exempt. You go on a dock, they can make you show vax. And also if you go into your own office, and if your office is required because it has more than 100 people in your company, you'd have to show a test within the last 7 days or a card to get in your own office. But as long as you stay in your truck and never leave it, that's what the attorney was suggesting in there. It's a mess. It's going to be it's already stayed, as we know. Like it's like that. There was a stay of all this. They're having some more arguments today in writing. They have to send them in writing, and then the other people can respond tomorrow. Oh my gosh, how long is this going to take? By then, the 2 weeks will be up, and we'll have flattened everything. So that's pretty good. Freddie, hello. Hoping for another finger-licking good show. Isn't everybody? That's awesome. Thanks for being here. What is the thong? Well, we can go to my OnlyFans for that, or my calendar, where I'm August on the trucker's calendar, so it's in there. Columbia, Georgia. Greetings, drivers. It's the thing between your big toe and the next step on your saddles. Right. That's one way to do it. That's one place to put it. Bobby Sinclair, hey, what's going on? You need some help? We're all here. You're an hour late. Yeah, in some places, if some people live where it's warm and don't have to change their clocks, where it's probably 70, yeah, very nice. And not including Hawaii. Arthur, good morning. Hey, Mark Ely, it's crazy out here in California. Who cares about $5 diesel when you're getting 3,000 on 289 miles? That's right. That's the thing about price of fuel. Even though today it is $3.72, first time it's been that since 9/29 of 2014, by the way. But that's true. If the rate's high enough, fuel doesn't matter, right? Or if you're getting a good enough surcharge on your rate. So if you get 3,289 miles, even without a fuel surcharge, is fuel a problem? Not really. Not really. Run your business, and you got it made. Bobby Sinclair, I desperately need a job. Just got out of prison for drug trafficking. I'm trying to do the right thing. Any recommend a company? Well, if you have a CDL, I'll tell you what. That's going to be a tough one. Is everybody thinking what I'm thinking? Western Express. Oh, I hate to say it, too. I hate to say it. They might be an option for you. And I'll tell you, with the drug trafficking, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. I'd call Western Express. Unfortunately, I would call Western Express and stay there as little as possible, meaning as soon as you can get in somewhere else, go there. Cashier's King, it's 52 and overcast. It was 61 here yesterday. I guess, it was been cold, but it's going to be warmer this week. We're going to be in the 20s by next weekend. John, hey, it's called afternoon. Yeah, no doubt. Arthur, it's morning here. It depends where you are. In Utah, home of our favorite company. Perfect. It's sunny here in Alabama, Chicken Holler. It's a pretty nice day. They said there's a big storm coming in, though, so be ready for that. Of course, out west, naturally. Kelly, a while back, I had a low dispatch ask me when I could be there. I said 10. She said 8. She'll set it for 8 and got there at 9:30. Receiver said it was 7. See, they don't even go by what you say. If you say 10, they should not set anything before 10. You're not going to be there. You can be late. Then they go, you know what? You're late. We'll work you in. We'll work you in as you go. Hey, Mark, Werner got a Costco account. 63 cents, tops at 74. That's great. 74 cents at Werner? Oh, my gosh. Let me see if this will work. Let me put this in here, too. And it'll go at the bottom somewhere, so I don't know where it'll come out. It did. All right. So, look, and I posted this on the Facebook page. That's an ad from CRST. I have no idea if this is true. They are advertising 2,200 $240 a week home every day in Indianapolis at CRST. Are you kidding me? I want to talk to one CRST driver making $2,240 a week by themselves in Indy who's home every day. I'll work there for that kind of money. That's crazy. 2,126. Yeah, right. Look, 74 cents at 2,600 miles at Werner. That's not bad money. All right. Pulling a tanker and I got my load locks in and strapped to tarp. You got to use those special tanker locks, tanker load locks. You're not on Eastern Standard Wiener time. Not anymore. By the time I get home today, it'll be 3,800 mile week. Wow. That's going to be a nice check, isn't it? We know who's buying lunch today. J Trucking. I work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I do work 13 to 14 a day, but my choice. I try to be in overtime by my third day, and usually am. Oh, look, absolutely. That's available. But when the driver says it's mandated to work 14 hours a day, that's not true. The government doesn't mandate you work 14 hours a day at all. And that's what a mandate would be. And that was the problem with it. So he's putting out there to people like everybody works 80 some hours a week. That's certainly not true. And it's certainly not the law that you have to work that much. A lot of people do, absolutely, to get overtime. By Wednesday afternoon, you're on overtime? Yeah, right. Bright and sunny, 60 degrees here in Montgomery Heights, Illinois. That's not that far from here. Salt and Murray, we used to get separate bonuses here. Now no bonus. It's folded into regular pay. They're better off paying you a bonus because the bonus they don't have to give you. I'm surprised they do that. Pay, once you get wages, you're required to be paid your wages, but they don't have to pay you your bonuses. So if they fire you, that's why companies do this, and you have all these bonuses ready, they don't have to pay them. They don't have to pay your wages. So most companies pay you a lower wage and give you all these bonuses, and that's why. Because later, they don't have to give it to you. Mandate, is that a night out with Michelle Obama? Oh, that was the last time fuel was $3.72 when her husband was president. Is that why we're saying that? A mandate isn't a law. It's two men going to dinner. Well, look, that's true, right? Depends which side of the booth you sit on. It's certainly not mandated to work 14 hours. And that guy, I mean, I don't know where they found that guy. Did they go like to San Francisco and find him living in the back of a railroad tracks or something? Chicken hauler. Is 15 days too slow to spread? Is just slow the spread? Yeah, we're done. We're almost done. We're almost through that 2 weeks. Is the mandate the same as a bromance? That's a more serious bromance. Fuel isn't a problem if the rate is high. Yeah, if you get enough money, fuel's not a problem. Absolutely. If fuel went to $10 a gallon and you got $10 a mile, you wouldn't care. Okay, if you went 400 miles and got $4,000, who cares if you spent, $400, $500 on fuel? You'd still fine. George Costanza's here checking in from the terminal in Tulsa. It's been warm here for the past few days. Yeah, nice for you. Your job gets a little worse in the wintertime, but you got to get that coat out. Who sponsored the program? Daylight Savings Time, the sponsor today. And wherever I went right here. Oh, right there is Earl Scheib. Paint any car, any color, only $99.95. No ups and no extras. Any car, any color, $99.95. No ups, no extras. That's right. Go to your local Earl Scheib to have your car painted. Avoid drugs, just use traffic. Sometimes that's all you can do. Some of the new, where we go? And I lost my little thing here. Oh, yeah, it's funny. Tommy Cash, some of the new tubers bringing their very minor kids 3 or 4 years old into warehouses. Really? Driver's rooms between trucks? It's fun and games. So who brings a 3-year-old into a warehouse? What warehouse lets you take a 3-year-old in there? Most companies won't even let you take a 3-year-old with you. I guess if you own the truck, it's up to you. But certainly a warehouse, it'd be unlikely. I wouldn't take my 3-year-old into a warehouse. How hard would it be to have a 3-year-old on the truck? I mean, that's tough. They can't do a lot of stuff for themselves yet. You got to take them in everywhere. I'll try them because I'm going to try to get out of the dope game. It's that or just cancel myself. Certainly don't cancel yourself. Western Express is worth the call. That kind of charge is a problem. I mean, if you had a felony for something different, maybe. That is going to be a problem. Look, write to me. If they say no, write to me. But there's other things you could probably do. Give them a call. If they'll give you a chance, go there and just tolerate their garbage and their poor motel and everything for a year or whatever until you can get into a decent place. That might be a way to get back in the industry. It's worth a shot. They're the ones that I would go to for that kind of problem, unfortunately. And you're not going to get treated well, and that's disappointing. They're basically using you because they know that there's nowhere else you could go. I don't like it, but there's as little I could do about it. I heard that Tyson Foods hires felons. Maybe that driver should check them out. Really? All right, call Tyson Foods. If they're down at Western Express land, okay, I'm in. You'd be treated better at Tyson, I'll tell you that. Just get the come on, man. Yeah, the thing. Oh, wait a minute. I have to go change my trousers. I thought Nashville are the place of our favorite company, Nashville. Yeah, Nashville's also a favorite. A lot of our good, better places are down there. Daniel, I set my appointment for 9. The customer said 1. Nice. Hey, why don't you be here at 1 instead? Why don't you go have some lunch? See, this is why I think this kind of thing, if you can be there at 9 and they don't get you till 1, that's your company's problem if you're an employee. Let them pay you for that time. That make it their problem. Why should we have to sit around for nothing because the appointment's not made right? Is there hope for you? Should I even try? Yeah, absolutely. Of course there's always hope for you. Western Express? Yeah, absolutely. There's other ways to get into trucking, too. This is probably the better way in your situation. But, there's other things you can do, too, to get in. Good afternoon. GP Transco, what's going on? It's good to see you. Could GP Transco hire you? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. We'll talk to them about that. Yeah, here. They'll talk to you right here. He can use flatbed load locks. I love those too. They're flatter. Instead of round. Right. I love it. I have 2 years experience and no tickets. I just have a record. Yeah. Can you see the teal? They do a color test there in the physical. Truckers add salt and pepper to every story. That is true. That's true. But the guy this guy that they got on my video yesterday. Come on. On Fridays, I cut it short usually because I'm busting my hump to get the routes done, but usually still have 61 hours a week. So you get 21 hours of overtime. That's a great week, right? So unless you're getting $8 an hour or whatever. But seriously, that's probably a pretty good week. And that's your choice. It's certainly not mandated. The government doesn't come to you and say, hey, you still have 9 hours. You have to go work more, right? That's kind of what he was suggesting. And that's all the public will hear. That's it. That's all they'll hear. And that's why it's a bad idea to put out that kind of bad information on CNN or whatever. A box truck was pulled over and they found 25 kilos. That's a problem. Picked up Werner Wabash trailers at Trucking Answers HQ. Really? Should I go tell JB and Hunt? I made it tight to get out. Did you see how many JB Hunt trailers there are? And which lot were you in? There's tons of lots. There's one here up on 52. It's a Sagamore. They have a number of them on Veterans. They're out Teal. There's a lot. Which lot were you in? They're all over the place. There's an industrial park on the other side of town. They got trailers there. Oh, my gosh. Somebody needs to call JB Hunt and tell them to get their trailers out of town here. Town is full of them. Who wants to bet that Mark drives for UPS? Oh, that'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? I'd look good in those shorts. Lost your little thing, something I heard of the manhole. I thought about that after a second there. As far as bonuses and pay, so I make a low wage for over the road coast to coast and the bonuses. Yeah, the thing is, most places fold that stuff in to your wages because then if they fold it in, they don't have to pay you. That's the thing. Bonuses they don't have to pay you. I'm seeing wife and child go with driver, but not a toddler. Yeah, who takes a 3-year-old in a truck with them? Would that be something enjoyable? I guess, if somebody wants to take their little kid with them for a grandkid or something, maybe for a week or something. I certainly wouldn't take them in a warehouse. Would not take them in a warehouse. Okay, GP Transco would not be able to hire you with that sort of record. Okay. It's tough with that record. It's tough. It's going to be difficult. But because something's difficult doesn't mean it's impossible. Nothing is impossible. Things are difficult, but they're never impossible. If you're trying to get back Western's an option, try hauling garbage. Oh, it counts as seat time. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I wonder if Garbage Republic hires out of here all the time. I see their ads constantly. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Republic. I wonder if they'll hire you for that. Depending on where that guy lives, Gemini might hire him a chance. Really? Gemini? Oh, in the tire division. Oh, all right. All right, Gemini. That's Loves. So for people, hauling tires to Loves. That wouldn't be a bad job. It's got parking at the Loves. Hey, Fleet Nav Systems, every Monday. Hope you moved your clocks back. So there you go. Hitler can make you lots of wieners. I know. You can buy them all day long. What's up with all those videos of flatbeds not strapping their loads? Owner-operator or a really bad company? No, it's a bad driver. It's a bad driver. That's lazy. That is lazy. Please. properly secure your load. It doesn't matter what the weather is or anything. It's just a lazy driver. You have no choice. GP Transco, any thoughts about the ATA stating as far as they can tell truck drivers will be exempt? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, and the labor secretary says that drivers are exempt if they don't have contact with anybody else at a company or in a warehouse. So if they stay in the truck, they wouldn't have to get it. The only time they'll have to get it or be tested is if they have contact with anybody. That was an interesting article from an attorney that wrote that. So, yeah, that's pretty good. So, although, companies who are otherwise, if they're subject to it, like a company that's got 5,000 trucks or whatever, they may make every driver do it. So they'll have that option too. But that was pretty interesting. And as you know, it already got held up. It's held up in the courts already. This is going to take forever. This is going to take longer than this 2-week thing that we're trying to get through the courts. James Morrow, hey Mark, where do you work? Oh, that's a good question. I don't get that question often, which is good. So I never tell people where I work, and it keeps them out of my videos. That's why I do that. And I recommend that for other people too. If you're going to start doing videos, don't say where you work. And I also don't recruit for them. If you like your company, hey, go for it. But I don't recruit for them. I let them get their own drivers. That's how we hang it out here. Andrew, what's going on? Get on Craigslist, look for guys with trucks and see if they'll take a chance on you. Yes, absolutely. I mean, you can get on Craigslist or go to a company that has just a couple of trucks. Go around your town, just really drive around and find somebody on the outskirts that's got 3 trucks, or a grain hauler. Like here, there's a lot of grain haulers. They have a few trucks, maybe. And go talk to the owner. He probably drives too. And tell him the story and say, hey, give me a chance or whatever, and get back. That gets you back in the seat too. That's another way to do it also. GP Transco, yeah. Hey, where's the GP Transco store? Hey, Mark, well, my stepson failed his drug test for PAM Trucking. Oh, that's awesome. The problem with that is, well, there's a good side in which he doesn't have to go to PAM. The bad side is PAM will likely report that to the reporting thing, which name escapes me at the moment. The clearinghouse. There we go. And so they will likely report that. So he's got a real problem. He's got a problem. Dwight, you started without me? No, been waiting for you. We're actually working on an online swag store. All right, that's good. Yeah, Kelly, yeah, that's a good question. What did he fail for? I'm curious about that. And he would know. I tell people, look, if you even think you're going to fail a drug test, do not go take the drug test. Do not try to get in school or anything until you go to Walgreens or one of these CVS's and go buy the test for yourself. They have these home testing kits, and test yourself. Okay, and make sure you're clean, and then don't do any more drugs. How about that? I guess I'll keep flipping these bricks to the streets. All right, sweet. What is a brick to the street? I'll be around until Fleet Nav Systems will be here till 1 p.m. if anybody has Geotab questions. Hit me up on YouTube throughout the week. If you leave me a comment, I can often help there. All right, sweet. Thanks, Fleet Nav Systems. They're the Geotab experts, absolutely. If anybody's using Geotab, it's an okay system. We use it, and it's okay. It's not like it's no Qualcomm, but it's pretty good. I'm taking your advice. I'm getting a set of winter tires. What do you suggest for a Ford Explorer? Look, I love my Winter Force tires. Firestone Winter Force, you can't beat them. A tire rack, oh my gosh. You can go with these more expensive Michelin X-Ice tires or whatever, Blizzaks. They're a lot of money compared to, Firestone Winter Force tires. They're bargain priced and get great reviews. Go look at the reviews. They get just as good of reviews. So I'm in for them. Slap them on there. Any winter tire, really. Even some Chinese knockoff tire would be better than any all-season tire, believe me, in the winter. But, yeah, check out Winter Force 2 tires. Those are out now. And I'll tell you, tire rack, depending on how many miles you put on, I got mine. They were 3 years old when I got them. And they said it right on their site, 3-year-old tires. But I don't put any miles on them, so I was in for them. Go check them out. Nothing's impossible. Try people properly disposing of their bottles. Well, that's true. That seems to be an impossible task for some people. If they really put their mind to it, though, maybe they could do it. Did you see that one guy was in the news? He threw it in somebody's car. I guess they were having some kind of road rage, and he threw a pee bottle in their car. It was in the news. Through their open window, fortunately. And it landed in their car. And there was a picture of it in the news, like a close-up picture of it. I love it. Vampirus, I've seen husband, wife, baby, and another child, a cat, and a dog. What are we doing? Are we living in the truck? Who takes a baby in the truck? Oh my gosh. Look, that would be super annoying. I mean, a baby crying in the truck, that's not a great life for the kid, certainly either. I don't know if the kid would like it. What do you do with the baby when you go to a dock or something? Oh my gosh. More people living in their truck, they would have to be living in it. And if you're living in your truck, you could certainly move into a truck and save up money pretty fast, it would seem like, to get a place to live. Because I wouldn't want to take a baby and another child and my wife and everybody in the truck. I mean, there's not a lot of room in the truck, it turns out. I guess you could buy one of those old Sierra England trucks, what they put out to pasture or whatever, and then everybody'd almost have their own room. In the Illinois, Judge Wilson, in the Illinois rules of the road, you can get a court-approved license on a suspension of work if you're driving job, but not CDL trucking, only small delivery trucks. Yeah, you could do that, right. Some places will let you drive to work or whatever. I'm from the government headcount. I'm here to help. They always are helpful. If you, where did I go off to? If you drive over the road, you basically live out of a truck. Hell, you do. But would you want to bring your wife, a baby, another kid, and a cat and a dog in the truck? Oh my gosh. And I certainly wouldn't take like a 3-year-old into a warehouse. Hey, let's come on in here and see how the forklifts work. TJ Jones in the Bull of the Woods is here. Hello, Bill 777. I saw a new guy with 3 big dogs and a flat top Freightliner. Reminded me of the circus. That's a lot of dogs in there. He's big. I don't know what big, but I mean, even 3 small dogs would be a lot of dogs. A dog is plenty, right? Just moved to Colorado, continuing the drug business. Weed farm. That's true. I mean, out there it'd be almost legal. Although once you start to go into kilos, I don't know. Roger Penske, I was at port in Long Beach and talked to a clerk who was behind a bulletproof glass. I had to be wearing a mask. Why are they behind bulletproof glass? What is happening out there? And you still have to be masked. Did they feel like they were safer that way with the mask that we've been wearing for 2 years that we bought for 99 cents 2 years ago? Stay away from the CBD oil. Don't take any of that stuff, please. There's so many drivers get busted for that kind of stuff. Paladin winter tires. Oh, wow, that's right. Some of us have white things that come out of the sky, snow, whatever. And it turns out all-season tires are horrible in the winter. They get hard like a hockey puck. Right, Don Rickles? And so winter tires stay nice and soft. If you ever come here, I'll show them to you. Come here in the winter. We'll poke my tires and we'll see how soft they are. Greetings from Hartley, Texas. Gear Jammer, all right. What's going on down there? I love Falcon tires. Do they have a winter tire? I mean, if they're in for a winter tire, I'm in because, hey, it's time to get them now. Pam runs with spam, and I don't like spam. Look, if you fail that drug test and you go on the registry, the clearinghouse, you got a problem. I mean, you're basically looking for another job. I bet a lot of people failing the drug test because of marijuana, because it's legal where it's at, not realizing you have to be able to test negative. Yeah, 72,000 drivers have failed since they opened the clearinghouse, so they're on there pretty good. And not that many of them go through the process to get their license back. You have to go through this big, long process. So Spam has a museum in Minnesota, Steel Horse. That is, everybody should make a trek there. I haven't gone there yet. I will be going sometime in my life to the Spam Museum as a fan of their products. They should have a testing room. Life starts now. What's your opinion on Crete? They just offered 70 cents. Nice. Home Friday, out Monday. That sounds pretty good. See, the thing is, how does it work with your life? Is that going to work with you? And why are you going there? I mean, what is prompting you to look around seriously like, maybe I'll go work at Crete? What's wrong with your current job? Is it money or treatment, that kind of thing? You should never throw your bottle in the car. You should only use Ziploc bags. Throw the bags in the car? Yikes. I think you'd like Geotab better if your company used Fleet Nav as their reseller. Oh, no doubt. Yeah, because my reseller, which is the company, is horrible. They don't have any idea what they're doing with it. So I totally agree with you there. And calling someone, they don't know anything about anything. J Trucking, I use BFGs on my F-150. Oh, best tires I've had. They have excellent snow and ice traction. Yeah, those aren't dedicated winter tires. People always get to me with these, off-road tires or whatever. That's not a winter tire. I'll tell you. We look at how tires are made or whatever. Winter tires are made for the winter. They have all these silicone compounds and sipes and cuts for snow and ice traction. Your tires are probably better than these garbage all seasons that they put on cars. Certainly, but absolutely, winter tires are the way to go. I'll blast along in the snow in my Sonic, no problem. OTR at 1. Yikes. Aviator trucker. I was delivering gas one day and a driver at the pump threw a lit cigarette butt on the ground. He went to the store. I picked it up and threw it in his back seat. Great. I love when people smoke and then they're getting gas delivered or stuff at the store. If they're living in their truck, how they make the second kid? Well, I mean, I could do another video about that. I mean, we could talk about that. Probably get in trouble here about YouTube. Here's when two people love each other. Here's the thing. You don't have to live in a truck with your entire family too long, seriously, at any decent place. I mean, to save up enough money to get them out of there to get a place, right? A month or two? Especially if you really want out of that truck. Start saving all that money. Where would you buy diapers? Do they sell diapers at the truck stop? Esteban Haro. Morning. Nephew wants to get his Class A. What truck driving school? Where did I lose my little spot, of course? And I went all the way up to there. So I moved, what driving school? Oh, he lives in Fontana. Oh, Esteban, you should write to me because the schools, I don't look at the schools. There's just so many of them. There's just so many. He should first call the state, though, and say, hey, do you pay for truck school? That'd be the first thing. The Department of Unemployment usually takes care of it in most states. And seriously, most states, they do it. So have the state pay for it. They're already paying for it. And it would save him a lot of money that way. UP Trucker Bob, goodness, thank you. Trying to enjoy the show with a crap connection in Denver. Need to find a shop to replace the front hubcaps with minimal downtime. Stay safe. Thanks for what you do. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Front hubcaps. So you have those hubcap system on the truck. That's what we have, and I don't know if it saves money or not. They say it do. I'm not a huge deal about it. I'll tire somebody. Everyone won't. Someday everyone will hold generals. Yep, I wish. A wife, yes, makes it more fun. Yeah, look, you could, but I just can't imagine taking my whole family like that. The best winter tires that money can buy is the one that runs back and forth, and I tan all year. That you don't have a problem with that. GP Transco has a driver with 7 dogs. Not a joke. That seems like a lot of dogs. I saw one person with 1 dog while I was there. It was like a, I don't know, Australian Shepherd or something. Not that big of a dog. I haven't seen any big German Shepherds. Don't believe anything Crete says about being off when they say. Certainly go check what other drivers say. Go to a truck stop and ask a Crete driver. Mark, wife, yes. Wife, baby, dog, short time. If you had to, look, if you have to, you got to do whatever because you got to solve your problem. But with a baby, I wouldn't know where to buy diapers. I can't imagine also just thinking, how much would they be at a truck stop? They're expensive enough at the store. Imagine at a truck stop, a pack of, you'll probably have 6 of them or whatever. Does Sir England have a 3-dog bunk? Can you imagine all 3 people there also bring a dog and they each bring their wife and a baby? Now we have 9 people in there and 3 dogs. Juan, do you think a fleet manager should have a CDL? My fleet manager is pretty good and never drove a truck. If they're good, look, I'd like somebody in the office to have a license to talk to. I really would. It just depends. It depends on how they treat you with it. Cash King Trucking, goodness, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Time to tip your host, Scallywags. I appreciate that. Thank you as we start the weekend. Life starts now. Thank you very much. I will pay you not to explain the birds and the bees, especially in video form. That's something you don't want through your eye hole for sure here. So thank you for that. Here's the thing. I've had dispatch that don't have a license, but they defer to you. So that's the kind of dispatch I want where he's like, he'll say, okay, I need this load delivered by this time. I can't do it. And then they're like, when can it be done? And then if you tell them a time, they're like, okay, we'll make it happen at that time. That's a dispatch with no license that I got no problem with. When they say, well, why can't this be done? And you tell them, they go, okay, I'm in. And they defer to you. I'm not going to argue with somebody in dispatch that doesn't have a license to try to tell me how to do my job. That's the thing about it. So it just depends on their attitude, for that. I've had an entire family in a truck for 6 months. 2008 was bad, but that job saved us. Right. So look, right. Short term, got it. And that's what you got to do. I'm in for that. Don't ever take a priest or a rabbi and a minister in your truck. You'll be the trucker joke of the week. Wow. What are you 3 guys doing here? How'd they all get in here? Mark Ely, goodness. Are you going to do a Thanksgiving show? If everybody wants a Thanksgiving show, I can do a Thanksgiving show. I do have to work Wednesday, so I'm generally not up until later because this run has been running late. So, but yes, we could do a pop-up show that day. Yeah, certainly. Can we do an update button on a show ramps and highway closures so when a driver goes by, he can hit the GPS to show road closures? Oh, that'd be good on, for that. Kind of work like Google. We had a driver who attempted to hide the fact that they had 7 dogs. That's a lot of dogs in a truck. I can't imagine that. Is Zach McMahon hosting the drug clearinghouse? He's got a gigantic check. Congratulations, you're fired. Do you know any companies paying by the hour? Lots of them. Do you know any over-the-road companies paying by the hour? Yeah, I've seen a few starting that now. JTC, I can't think of their name of it. Out of Fort Wayne, that was the first one that I saw. That pays by the hour. You know who else pays by the hour over the road? If you want to haul cars, Hogan, of all things. I've seen their ad in Indy, $29 an hour plus overtime over the road hauling cars for Hogan. I didn't even know Hogan hauled cars. You're looking at well over $2,000 a week for that on 70 hours over the road. So, and all their time is paid. Pretty good. I'm starting to see some of it. Not much, though. The Spam Museum motto, it's not a tasteless tour. Oh, you live there. You probably are a member of the Spam Museum, so you get to go all the time. Stan Dodge made it to Roller Wiener Monday. I appreciate it. Rob told us about that in orientation. 7 dogs. How do you hide 7 dogs? When you put the truck in the shop for service there, what do you do with all the dogs? Stop down the road and get a cab or whatever? There's nothing down the road to get a cab from. Covenant Transport put up a bulletproof window at their main terminal for drivers to talk to their dispatch in person. That's ridiculous. If you don't trust your driver, if you think drivers are going to come in and you need a bulletproof window, what are you saying to people? GP Transco was pretty funny yet not acceptable and unsafe. A really odd situation. It was resolved. Yeah, I can imagine. If the company has a policy and you're an employee, that's their policy. Take it or leave it, basically, but don't try to scam around it. Yeah, were they small dogs or more like the yellow lab? Could not imagine. Oh, yeah, but you have a good dog there. Yeah, what were the size of the dogs? I think the manholes sell studded tires. They sell studded things. I know they aren't winter tires, but I don't see a lot of snow in the winter, more ice than anything. Oh, and you have chains. Okay, so you're all set. Here it's blasting snow sometimes. And winter tires, I'll tell you, there's nothing better than winter tires. You can't beat them. Cannot beat them. Once you run a set of winter tires in bad weather in your car for 5 minutes, you're going to be in. You're going to be like, oh, Mark, this is the greatest thing I've ever had in my life. Thank you so much. So that you're absolutely going to do it. Thanks, Vampris. I appreciate that. I appreciate it today. Goodness, everybody is very generous today, which I very much appreciate. If the 7 dogs, 1 truck, more dogs, yeah. Well, if we think that about a dog, what do we think about a person that's in the truck for that long of a period? That's the thing of it, Goodness, right? That's terrible for those dogs. Super chat therapy, yes, I appreciate it. I didn't understand these people putting gas in shopping bags. I guess it was because I was using a paper bag. You didn't get that gas home. And if the price goes up anymore, it was $4.09 yesterday. I filled up the wife's car. So, yikes. Geotab is more for tracking than navigation, but your company could reach out to the reseller, theoretically possible. Oh, believe me, here they wouldn't care. What is up with that weekend car video thing, and what are you driving? I drive around on the weekend. I have an Escape, right, is what we currently have. It's the wife's car. I take it on Sundays to wash it and fill it up if it needs it. It's vacuumed. And that kind of thing, and so it gets constant washes, and that's what I drive. And on weekends I love cars, so I've done car videos for many years, so I just go out and look at cars on the weekends because here in Indiana the car lots are closed. It's time for another bug hunt. Oh, I wish. I got off my welfare by getting my CDL through unemployment on a grant. Life starts now. Exactly. So like you, right, a lot of states will pay for the school. You get a grant and the school's paid and it changes your life, right? That kind of thing is what, welfare and unemployment should do. It should do something to change your life, which it does. Now your life has changed. That's exactly what it should do. You could pay off the truck school with a workforce development grant. You can also get a loan on your own and pay it off by the next trucking company that will pay the school. So that's another way to do it. You want to know what senior citizen shorts smell like? Depends. Yikes. Safe eating. Wrap your roller wiener in silicone. Oh, yikes. That wouldn't be bad. But if the birds and bees do it, everybody does it. 7 dogs in the truck is a lot of dogs. It's a lot of mental illness. I understand if you lose your house, you're not going to get rid of your dogs. I got it. I got that part of it. The hubcaps and the flow below work so well. Why aren't they on the trailer? Well, they are. Some of our trailers that I get do have hubcaps on them. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. Now, my truck doesn't have the caps on it, the hubcaps, but some of the trucks do have them all the way around. Got a set of Goodyears with a metal stud. Yeah, they don't like you studding here. It's not snowy enough. You could stud in the till like April 1st, but it isn't snowy enough all winter to get studs here. Maybe in Colorado or something. Believe me, winter tires make a huge difference. 7 dogs in a steering with 3-man bunk truck. Well, I'm seeing each dude brings his wife, and then they each bring a baby, and they each bring a dog. I mean, can you imagine that? I was about 4 and 68. My dad took my mom and me with him to Jones McLaughlin in Mapleton, Rhode Island, in a Transtar day cab. Wow. I think back then it would have been different walking on the dock with a kid, because the kid and everybody, the wife, your dad, mom, and you were all smoking probably on the dock. Pilot and J have a free $10 meal for veterans getting my Wednesday. Make sure to thank you for your service, Mark. Oh, well, appreciate that. Thank you very much. And as all veterans as well, right? And so go get a free meal at the J. I didn't know that. All right, got to head out of here. Have a great week and stay safe. Thanks for being here, Fleet Nav Systems. Best dispatcher I ever had was a driver. For 4 years, my company fired for sticking up for the drivers. That's why I'm deciding to go to Crete. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Well, I would ask them, hey, are your dispatchers drivers? You know, if that's important to you, if that's important. I want somebody that's just going to defend me like that person did, right? So if I say this can't be done or I can't be there at a certain time for some reason, I need that dispatch to go, okay, no problem. This is all right. We'll take care of it. Not, oh, well, we need it done or whatever. You know, it's not up to them to argue with me about it. That's aggravating. Life starts now. I was making $18,000 a year at Walmart last year, and I made $71,000. Wow. I had my CDL for 15 months. Best decision of my life. Well, thank you very much for that. And yeah, look, how that's the kind of thing that unemployment and that's what it ought to do for people. Change their life. Oh my gosh. That money will be well paid back to them in taxes because of all the extra money that you make and the things that you buy. And it changes your life. That's what they should insist on for people. Hey, we have these services. Go use them. Well, that's a huge raise too, isn't it? 50 grand. That's nice. I'm in for that. We have dispatchers and safety managers with a CDL and some without a CDL. We can say that those with the CDL have an easier time relating to drivers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the dispatch without it, you'd have to explain to him. Okay, here's the story. This is what this does, and this is why I'm saying it. But as long as he's okay with it, I'm okay that way too. Not like, oh, I don't want to hear it. It's got to be there at 10. That I don't want to hear about that. If I say can't be there at that time, there's a reason. I don't have the hours. Yeah, well, we'll just make it work. No. What do you think about driving for the post office? Dope law. If you can get in, I never see ads for them. I wouldn't know how to get in there. And also, how much longer is the post office going to be around? Does anybody mail anything anymore? Is anything mailed? Other than junk. I get a bunch of junk every week. But those who do not have one but are experienced can do the same and extremely well. It just takes slightly longer to get to that level. As long as they're okay with the driver explaining something to them and then just doing what the driver says, I'm in for that. I'm up for you doing a Thanksgiving show. I mean, I don't want to bother people's Thanksgiving, believe me. People would rather be with their family than with me. A Ruan is, it has an hourly over-the-road. That's right. In Indy, it does have that job over the road. They're advertising an over-the-road job. I just saw it, actually, in Indianapolis. I don't know if they're around anywhere. I look into Indy a lot. Of course, they have a spotter job there for 25. They have 23 for non-CDL spotter job plus overtime. That's almost a $2,000 a week job without a CDL. Home every day. My dispatch at Gemini is I get the schedule through the Slack app. Oh, Slack. The week before I get a picture of my load book, when my route turn is ready, I have zero interaction with anyone unless I have an issue. Oh, you probably wouldn't need it but see, Gemini is big enough where they'd need it. So what they may do is say, look, you have no choice but to get it. And that's the problem. George H.W. Bush. Oh, that's right. It's J.A.T. That's who it is. Hogan Hall's Livestock. I know. I didn't know they did any of this. They have livestock, but I've seen their automotive at 29. Carvana is also hourly for that kind of thing, too. If you like hauling cars. I don't know why cars went to it. Do you like a whole tip or a half tip? Yikes. In Illinois, you can apply for a restrictive driving permit that restricts to employment relating. I had one for 3 years when I was revoked. Hey, at least we got rid of that. Welcome to the fabulous benefits of shopping at Walmart. Plenty of diapers. I do almost all my shopping there. Yeah, I try not to shop there. Our best recruiter was a driver for 30 years, actually. Well, then that's a perfect person to be a recruiter. Then somebody can talk to him like, he'll talk to the drivers like he knows what he's talking about. Hey, Al Johns, what's happening? Keeping everybody into your thumb down there? During the daytime, trucks could park easily. They're designed for 53 foot, as long as they don't get towed away. Some of them you get towed or hooked or whatever. I get those letters every once in a while. I'm trying to get a wing of the Spam Museum named after me. We could name it the Avalon Museum. GP, I like my new dispatcher, Sean. Very good instant 30% increase in miles. That's a very good dispatcher. It's funny how one and the other, they have all the same loads to look at. One gets 2 miles and one doesn't. Hogan hauls pigs in Iowa. $30.50 now for driving a 9-car hauler. Oh, so it went up since I last saw it. I would say that's not bad money on the road. And most road drivers don't make that if you figure it out, but per hour. So that's pretty good because that's all your time. And at least you know you're getting paid when you're filling up the truck and that you're getting paid. Worked for TRL in the 90s and my dispatcher was shot over a $40 hotel bill. That's horrible. And who stays at a $40 hotel? That's what I'd be shooting them about. Like, I got to stay in a $40 hotel? What is happening? That's terrible. But I would say that doesn't happen often. And I think automatically separating drivers just says, look, you're not good enough to come in and we don't want to talk to you in person. I mean, really. That's the impression I get out of it. When I go in there. And our office is just open. You can just walk around in there and talk to somebody. In the office. Now, you can't go higher up because you'd have to go somewhere. But in there, yeah. May Trucking has bulletproof windows and doors to be buzzed in the Oregon terminal. Nice. They have just about so one at a time, kind of like a jewelry store, like a reverse jewelry store. Holy crap, I'm finally getting loaded after 4 hours on the dock. Nice. About time. Tell them, hey, thanks for getting to work. Worked for TRL also in early 90s, my second job in trucking. PRL stood for 3 rounds left. Yikes. TRL stands for 3 rounds left? Oh my gosh. What are they doing to the drivers where they fear everybody, not even just have a locked door, but have bulletproof glass? Would a tick on a dog in a truck be considered a passenger? They'd have to log. Get your own truck, van, and authority. Money talks, and you know what? Look, any more time you take more risk in anything, the more money you're going to make. Absolutely. Including trucking. Yeah, you could make a lot more money if you took more risk. When my trucking company gets big enough to need dispatchers, I'm going to put them on bulletproof boxes. I'm going to let the drivers control the amount of oxygen. Oh, the oxygen they get is based on the miles they give out. So they want some more oxygen, they better start giving out some miles. That's pretty good. Alexandra, hey, hello. It's good to see you. That's all right, late. A lot of people didn't set their clocks today. And I knew that at Meijer yesterday, that people didn't set their clocks back because there were more people than normal at Meijer. I'm there at the same time. There were more people. And I'm like, these people are not the normal Meijer early people. You're an hour later people. And so they're in my way. Next year, they're shutting down all 3G towers. No more ELD. If you're still running on 3G, I guess, if that's anybody, there won't be any more 3G. That's true. And whatever 3G phone was on that, you also won't be able to use your phone. So, or for service. Our dogs also called Wieners? Only Wiener dogs. I've been trained and have experience with guns. I'm licensed to conceal carry. My boss says no. I leave it at home. Nice of you. Boss, don't ask the boss, right? Always ask for forgiveness, not for permission. I think a lot of big companies don't put the flow below on the trailer because when they drop the trailer, people are stealing the hubcaps. I mean, not you, of course. No, of course not you. I will say the early ones of those hubcaps like you have on your truck flew off. When we first got those a couple of years ago. A few of them drivers lost. Although, I actually don't know if they flew off. The drivers would say, well, they flew off going down the road. So they got Velcro ones for a while. Now they're back to that kind that you have with that button. You can get around the 3G issue by using your phone's hotspot and linking your ELD to it. That's one way to do it. They could also buy an ELD made this century. Free milk and cookies at the manhole in December. Oh, of course. They only have the butter cookies. You know, those round cookies that have a little hole in the middle of them. Elgin Community College for my CDL student loan reinforced by Dot Transportation. Roger Penske. Very good. Can only rural letter carriers and disabled veterans can use studded tires or chains in Illinois. Oh, really? All right. You can use chains, I know, for school buses because the school buses in rural areas here have the auto chains on them. So they at least let Myrtle Schmigenheimer, who drives the school bus, who's 95 years old, hit the button and spin the chains underneath the tires. The Postal Service hires private companies. There are Postal Service trucks still cruising around. I see them. Tucker Hershey, you are our family. Well, I'm that weird cousin that you have to keep in the basement that nobody talks about. Wherever my dispatcher disappears and I have to get a new one, I make sure that they've driven before. Vampris, yeah, you don't always have a choice, right? And they don't like to hire drivers because they know too much, so we get a lot of people that don't drive. But fortunately, doing the same thing every day, I don't have to deal with them very much. So I don't have to depend on a dispatcher to get miles, which kind of helps me out a little bit, I got. Postman Pat and his black and white cat. Oh, is that from a show? I'm missing it. Still Horse won't be home for Thanksgiving. Thanks for being out there on that. Thanks again, and Christmas. All right. I think people want to stay out. Go right ahead. Yeah. I used to haul a pig, but I got divorced. Oh, dang it. That's not nice now. The government caused the problem of low pay and driver shortage due to inflation. You can clap when your government spends money to send people to truck school trying to fix the problem they caused. I think that certainly people can improve their life. If somebody was making $18,000 and now they make $71,000, I think the money that the government spent on truck school will be well paid back and is a good investment. You're much better off doing that for people than just giving them, $500 a month or $1,000 a month forever. Give people a career and get them onto something. It's better than just giving people money, saying, hey, here's a career and this will change your life. That's better. Low pay, and the low pay of drivers is drivers' fault. A lot of it is drivers' fault for accepting low pay. You only get what you will accept, and as soon as you don't accept, times like some companies will make you sit all night and not pay you anything. Drivers shouldn't accept that, and companies would have to pay more. John, I like the $39.99 hotels the best. Oh, $39.99. Are you talking like 1986? When are you going to get a job? Just kidding. Patrick, yeah, I work at night. So I'm out there at night while people are sleeping. I'm out working. So and I always did that, right? I love nights. I've done it for many, many years, really decades. I love working at night. There's less traffic. Scales are closed. It's just great. The free market and free government. And I lost my little spot here, of course. And that was going to be good here. Okay, right. Oh, there we go. Right. Free of government interference would fix the issues. Yes, that would. Drivers could fix their own pay issue by certainly not working for pay that they find unacceptable as well, I think. No pay may. Nice. Life starts now. A driver at my company got arrested last month, kidnapping people on the road, taking them home and eating them. Really? Thank you for that, I think. I mean, you're talking Jeffrey Dahmer-like? I mean, it seems like that would make the news. Although there are a lot of serial killers in driving, because it's a perfect job. You're disappearing to another area, really. That's crazy. Aren't there grocery stores in this area? What do you think about changing regulation 18-year-olds? Yeah, no problem. They'll have actually more training than a regular driver. Ironically, they're subject to more training and monitoring than someone that's 21. Who's subject to no training or monitoring. So I think it'll work out better. And there's only a limited amount. And honestly, how many are going to do it? We can't get adults to do it, much less, an 18-year-old quasi-adult. So, yeah, if they want to do it, sure. Paddock's 2 Gemini drivers on here. Small world. Nice. Slack is an app we communicate with dispatch over the phone. Yeah, absolutely. Slack is an app. I've heard of it. I don't have it, but right. Slack app. Absolutely. A lot of companies use all these different apps. That's a good way to do it. Have you ever heard of Baxter Healthcare, and could you do a video about them? I haven't heard of them in a long time. I drove for them many years ago. How about that? I'm a driver making $25 an hour. You work 19 hours, and they round you up to 40 every week. That's pretty good. I drove over the road for them. Oh, my gosh. Early 90s for Baxter Healthcare. I had a refrigerated trailer that had 2 reefers on it. So we had a nose unit and a belly unit. And if the nose one went out, the belly unit automatically started, and an alarm went on the side of the trailer. A big red light lit up, and so you could know that there was a problem, and you had to stop and call them immediately. So, but I haven't heard anything about them in many, many years. How does one get into hauling hoppers? Call a farmer. I mean, out here rural, there's plenty of hopper jobs out here. I see them all over the place. You'll just look for a rural area, and there's somebody that needs to haul a hopper around. Alexander, I'm in the mountain time zone in northern Utah. It's more a time zone thing than daylight savings deal. Depends on which side of the time zone you're on, right? Most small cartage companies and construction companies and excavators in Chicago will give nonviolent ex-cons a second chance. Okay, that's another way to check it out. A small cartage place. There's places that you can get in. It's just a little bit more difficult. We love Flow Below and install it on all our units. Does it seem to help? Ansel and Penelope Rain Blossom Smith with one of the longest names on YouTube. Hello there. Hey, what's going on? Why does the jukebox the manhole only play Macho Man? It doesn't matter what number you punch in. It always comes out Macho Man. Are chicken lights really made out of chickens? Only mechanically separated chicken parts. You should give a lesson in proper use of engine brakes to go with the trailer dropping video. Yeah, how about number 1, don't use them in the truck stop if you have 10-inch pipes and no resonators or anything in there. How about that? That'd be one way to do it. Ugh. Captain Cleaner Wiener. Overheard a leper at the manhole. Keep the tip. Nice lepers. More leper jokes. I'm going to get canceled for that. John, did the village people ever hire a singing truck driver? I don't think so. I don't think any of those people ever did the jobs that they were wearing the clothes for. Did you see the teenager in LA that stole the semi-truck with a trailer? Is that the guy that drove into the house or whatever and killed somebody? They are giving away free golden showers at the manhole tonight. That's pretty nice of them. You can usually get those free anywhere at the manhole anytime. Did they get the scale rebuilt on 74? No. That scale, there's nothing there. They tore it down and that's it. And it's still coned off. You can't even go in there, which they should at least let you go in there and park. Although, you know what? What they figure is probably drivers will go walk around where the scale used to be and take pictures and hurt themselves. So, but no, there's no building or anything there. Nothing. So you got it made. If you're coming by that way, there's nothing there. The Indiana inbound scale on 74 coming out of Cincinnati, gone. Tim Norton in Lebanon, Missouri. Look him up. All right, look it up. Cassius King, what do you think about the law that goes into effect in February that requires training before getting a CDL? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to change anything. It'll just make it a little bit harder to get your CDL where you can't go to a place that doesn't have these things in place. Absolutely. Any extra training that people can have, I'm in for it. I'm in. The New York Post just said supply chain stalled by 72,000 drivers who failed strict drug tests. Wonder if they got that from the guy from the East Armpit. Yeah, same guy. Yeah, that's all them people found them drug tests too. That's why we're stalled. Can't get no drug tests. Got to work 65 hours a day. Mandated. Right. And they probably pay the guy $10. Here's $10. My truck at TRL was a 2941 Freightliner Classic CAT engine. Yikes. TRL. Other over the road told me to get moving. I told him your name is out on his truck, Jeffy. Hey, what's going on with that? Cassius King, hit the like button. You should do a review on Mudflap. I think somebody's already doing reviews on Mudflap app. I will tell you that. I think somebody might be doing the Mudflap app reviews. So I don't use the Mudflap app. Where did it come from and how do they get the truck stops to give such discounts? I don't know. We can ask Cassius King Trucking. What is the whole history of Mudflap? Do you think the guy with straight pipes that use their Jake bikes upshifting to do because it tickles their backsides? I don't understand people running trucks with these loud pipes. I get that it sounds great in town. But, I had a truck which was not really loud, but had pipes that came out in front of the sleeper, a W900L. And the pipes came out right behind your door. And I thought that was too loud. This constant rumbling there, I didn't like it. So, I don't know how they do it. I guess it'd be cool. They probably have that big gear shifter that goes up here, too. Are there any unstrict drug tests? Yeah. Maybe we should make it less strict. There have been some senators saying it's too strict getting into trucking. I'm like, really? It's too difficult to get into trucking? It's 3 weeks of school. And you don't even have to go to school, really, at the moment. Trucking with a Trucker G3. Good evening. Thanks for what you do. And watching you makes my day greater. Well, I appreciate that. You're very funny and need more trucking comedy out here or it will get boring quick. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Now, that makes my day right there. I learned not to use the Jakes with doubles. I had to pull a seat cushion at my butt crack. Only level 1 with doubles. Be very careful. You don't want that second one getting all squirrely on you. I only use my engine brake in tunnels. Well, yeah, that's like revving a Ferrari in there. You did a Thanksgiving show a while back, and I think you should do one again, Roger Penske. I did, right. And I was surprised at the turnout. But I don't like to break into people's holidays. That's time with your family, Reverend. Village People Trucker sings, Put It in the Big Hole and Hammer Down. That's their new album to be released next Tuesday drops. That's an industry term for releasing an album. Happy syncing of the Edmund Fitzgerald week. Oh, was that this week? Oh, that was a terrible day in history. How much training is required for that new law? I don't actually know. The training is on the people doing the training. It isn't on the driver getting their license. Nothing changes for that person. So there's still no minimum amount of training required for the person getting their license. The training part is on the people giving the license. Mudflap is awesome. Yeah, I thought you'd do something with Mudflap, right? So what happened when with the show last week, the freezing picture? I have no idea. Okay, not a computer person, so I actually don't know. When the show was over, I just restarted it and everything worked okay. So I have no idea. Mayor Pete is just speaking to the media. He's guaranteed there's going to be more unionized jobs in trucking. How's that going to happen? To get a unionized job in trucking, the people have to vote to bring a union in. There's nothing he can do about it. So, no, I don't think that's possible at all. Other than the people voting themselves. He doesn't just wave his hand and a union shows up, So, no. Nice of him to say that, though. And believe me, companies won't like him mentioning that kind of thing. They never want to hear about a union. Pigpen, it's been a few weeks since I caught a live show. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I try to do one every Monday. So thanks for coming in for this one. To the new time, which is in now, and as we change time zones. And air for voice communications on a telephone. Who's the genius that came up with that brilliant idea? Roger Bensky. It doesn't work quite the way it should yet. They're working on it. Working on a faux gear shifter for us drivers with the auto shifts. It'll be a 6-foot pole that mounts right beside the driver's seat. You know what? That might actually sell. Drivers could just shift it as the truck shifts. It's funny why we're not on Mars. The bank robber gave it $20 and left with $17. I think the bank owes you $3. Joe, look, this stuff, I just can't make this kind of stuff up. For people that don't know, I do a podcast every Tuesday, Friday. And thank you for bringing that up. And I always do a reason we're not on Mars, which, of course, is because there's a bunch of idiots on this planet. And every week I have another reason. It's always a dude, right? It's because we're stupid and we do dumb things. This one that we're talking about here, a guy robbed a place, threw a $20 down there to get change and only left with the money that they had, which was $17, left is $20. He ended up leaving with less money than he had. So put some CBD with your DEF. When they test that, then that thing will come back positive. I'd like a set of triple 10-inch straight pipes that come out both sides of the hood like a racing car. That would sound great, except on a long trip. And plus all that smoke in your on the windshield. You won't be able to see anything. Gordon Lightfoot, great song. Yeah, that'll be on Soft Rock. Oh my gosh, a couple of stations on satellite changed to Christmas music. And one on the radio in Cincinnati is already playing Christmas music 24 hours a day. What is happening? This isn't even Thanksgiving yet. Pigpen from the Grateful Dead. I thought it was Pigpen from Charlie Brown. Tucker Hershey, last week's freezing picture caused by solar flare hitting Sunday and Monday. General comms error all around the world. Had static on the CB all day. Oh, I didn't think about the solar flares. That's possible. We'll blame it on the solar flares. Hear about the driver in Whitestone that got arrested for having a trailer full of drugs? No. That's right down the street here. If you're talking Whitestone, Indiana, I mean, I believe it. People get busted on 65 here all the time, so absolutely, it's certainly possible. Fisher Brown is here. Hey, what's going on? It's good to see him. Remember Edward Durr? Remember this guy? Anybody hear about this guy in Jersey? Edward Durr, truck driver, ran for state senate. He won. Columbia George, how many consecutive live shows have you done? I don't know. I haven't looked. I'm going to say 150 at least 3 years. At least 3 years straight on Monday. Every Monday, sick or not, holiday or not. Every Monday has gone so far. There's been a live show on Monday. Why have loud pipes on your Jake brakes? The answer came from my CDO class. Yeah, what? Because loud pipes save lives? It was the Russians. The Russians came over and did it because they don't like me talking about their northern Chicago suburb companies, 1099 companies. And they're like, stop talking about all of our companies up here. This guy, he won state senate against a guy who's been in there for years, 11 years. And very close. He only spent $100 and some on his campaign. He won, but he won just last week. Already, the other guy said, hey, I'm not going to concede. We just found some more votes. Don't you love that? Edward is the truck driver's a Republican. The guy in office is a Democrat. They found 12,000 more votes that they're going to count. So everybody's vote counts. Think about that. And the news is bringing up our old tweets from our truck driver friend here. And, that he has to be canceled over. So that's what they do to you when you try to take out the people that are in power, no matter which are in power, really. You get canceled out and just crushed. And that's what they're doing to this guy. He's already had to apologize for some tweets already. He's come out to apologize. So isn't that pretty good? Edward Durr almost had a toehold. I think they're going to boot him out of there, to be honest with you. DX has been strong on the CB. I should take the ham. I don't take it with me every day and see if I can get some distance out of it. I've gotten Chicago from here on 2 meters, so. Wasn't Pigpen and Convoy? Oh, right. Oh, that was good. Heavy Metal Trucker is probably referring to the protecting the rights of organized. There's nothing about the PRO Act in the infrastructure bill, by the way. So they didn't change anything. They didn't put anything in this infrastructure bill with that. They talked about it. Radio skip goes in 7-year cycles. Sometimes, well, there's a skip websiting. You can see. It depends on where you are and all that. You never know. Never know. Depends on the frequency. Now they're saying he didn't win, and they found another 10,000 votes. Yeah, that's what they're saying, right? He may not win. There's more votes. Wait a minute. Whoa, we got another box of votes over here. We got to go count them, too. Yeah, he's not going to win. They're not going to let him win. That's why I had that quote today, right? It doesn't matter who votes. It matters who counts the votes. That's what matters. Doesn't matter if you vote or not. It matters who counts. But Mark, when you come on to do a Thanksgiving show, the family can sit around a fire roasting wieners together. That's true. That's true. And listen to the show. On only $153 campaign, they're already trying to cancel him. Yes, because he beat somebody who's in office. Once you're in office, you have power. You've got to be canceled. He had some tweets. It's funny. Nobody saw these tweets until he won. He had these tweets are from years ago. One of them is about our current vice president. If you saw that, and he said, the only reason she's in office, because she's a woman. She couldn't do it otherwise, so they had to, she had to have a man. And I agree, right? She tried to win. Think about this. Couldn't win. A man brought into office. Let's talk about that for the vice president and see what she thinks about that. To just bring her in for that. And so he tweeted that like years ago. And got in trouble. Some other thing about Muslim. I don't have that quote here. He put something out about that. And so they're coming out of the woodwork. Yeah, no matter what he said, they're bringing every tweet. He's got to apologize. He should be taken out of office. And now there's more votes. This guy, he's not going to get in office. You can't just go and run for office and win. That's not how it works. You can't just go beat somebody that's been in office for a decade on $100 and win. Not happening. It's not going to happen. Trump won in his own mind. That's the first place you got to win. You always got to be a winner here, right? Hey, what's going on, K. Wayne? I see a trend of trucking more dudes with pickup trucks and trailers. Yes, hotshots. These people from Chicago are driving straight trucks from Chicago to Seattle. That's not illegal. It's not illegal to drive a straight truck from Chicago to Seattle or Chicago to anywhere else, by the way. So, no problem. They would just log that. There are jobs. I see jobs advertised all the time. Sprinter van, nationwide Sprinter van drivers. So, yeah, absolutely. Where's your co-host Gracie for president? What you doing, Gracie's? Oh, I guess she was sleeping over there. So she's up, surprisingly. In good old days when Thanksgiving decorations went up after Halloween and Christmas after Turkey Day. I've seen Christmas lights up too. There are houses with Christmas lights. What are we doing? That goes up after Thanksgiving. Okay? Those lights go up and they come down New Year's. That's how it works. Lord help you if you should have a dissenting opinion. Kelly, that's exactly correct. Everybody seems to forget that freedom is, everybody gets to have their opinion. Because you don't like it or you don't approve of it, too bad. How about that? If people don't have the ability to speak freely, someday, remember, they'll come for you too. They will come for you. So you have to support opinions that you may not agree with. All right? That's how it works. Whether you agree or not, he gets to have his opinion. Period. We don't say, he can't do anything because he has an opinion that I don't agree with. That isn't freedom anymore. Oh my gosh. Gary got in trouble for that, right? The KKK of all people, those friendly guys, they wanted to have a thing in Gary years ago. Gary said, no, you can't have a permit. They went to court and the court said, you can't do that, right? And you have to support their ability to walk through town. Because next, you're going to want to walk through town. And some town's going to go, you know what, we don't like what you have to say, so you can't do it. That's not how freedom works. We support everybody's freedom of speech. We'll run for Indiana governor, make it mandatory to go to the manhole. That should be mandatory. And that should start at 3 years old, maybe. Well, maybe you don't want to take your 3-year-old there. Well, they're not working. Nothing to do. Let's put up the lights. All right. Well, we're not busy. Certainly not busy taking jobs. They're up to 14 now here at McDonald's in town, which I don't consider bad. 24.50 now. Amazon is on the radio advertising in Cincinnati to walk in and start the same day at their warehouse. That's nearly $1,000 a week for 40 hours with no experience doing anything but picking up boxes. I don't find that to be terrible money, but hey, I don't know. Stan Dodge was there for the Trucking Answers YouTube premiere. Thank you for still being here. I'm surprised anyone from that is still there today. Didn't immediately turn that off. So I appreciate it. Look, there are people back there. It's over 4 years now on the channel itself. Didn't start the live show right away. And so I appreciate it. I appreciate that people still come in to watch anything or be on the show or anything else, to be honest with you. What do we think about this guy who says, look, the CEO of Aurora Horizon, he says, get ready for autonomous trucks. They're coming next week. Basically, not next week, but they're coming soon. They're coming soon. You think they're coming soon? A trucker, she says, $15.50 an hour at Walmart. Okay, wow, that's not bad. Look, at a Walmart, that is not terrible money to just walk into a place like that. And that goes right to Walmart. They have cargo trucks, I don't know if you know this, that run around Bentonville. They're doing a 7-mile loop, apparently from some warehouse back to Walmart with boxes and stuff back and forth. It's a Ford, van size thing with a box on it. Okay, so a small box truck, a cube truck, I guess we would call it. They're running these autonomous, no drivers. All right, and this thing can't even make a left turn. Get this, they said in the article. Because an unprotected left is too complicated, the truck is programmed to make 3 rights. Okay, and this is on the same route every day. It doesn't have to figure anything out. It goes the same route every day. It can't even make a left because they're too afraid of risk. They said it's too complicated, so the truck makes 3 rights. 3 right, and it's not really like it's a cube truck. All right, 3 rights. Starbucks employees are trying to unionize Dave Johnson. Well, let's do it. Tell them to vote for a union in there and have a strong spokesman. Not like these weak union spokesmen that I see now that are weak. All right? Go in there, put the screws to the place. If you're going to be a union, then be a strong union or forget about it. If you just fold, there's no point to it. I wonder what they will do if someone won and never had any social media accounts. How would that ever happen? To win, you almost have to have social media. That's where a lot of people get their news and everything from. So you'd almost have to do that, really. Although that'd be an interesting person to run. How would you find them? You can't put an ad out on social media to find them because they don't have social media. So that's a pretty good idea, though. That was to work at the Walmart, $15.50. Right, $15.50 an hour to work at the Walmart. Exactly. I don't think that's bad. Did Stacey Abrams move to New Jersey now? Didn't she just win something in Georgia, right? She's won for her election, didn't she? Is Walmart a 1099 company? I don't think so. No. If I see a driverless truck, I will make it go 25 on the interstate. I think there's going to be a lot of that. There's no reason you couldn't hack the truck. There's going to be hackers that'll hack these trucks. Absolutely. This guy's saying, oh, look, these autonomous trucks are coming. I'm waiting to see the first driver, even one, in this whole country whose job's been taken by an autonomous truck. And you can say, well, they're driving that route. Well, was that somebody's job to drive that route before that? And do they not have another option? Has somebody's pay been reduced because of an autonomous truck? No. There's plenty of places that need drivers. So they aren't taking anybody's job yet. And if this thing can't even make a left, we're a ways from it. Look, Roombas just figured out how to go around dog poop on your carpet. It would suck up dog poop in an autonomous vacuum cleaner. Couldn't even figure that out. So I think we're a ways yet from trucks driving themselves down the street. In Jersey, places you cannot make a right. Well, that's true. How would this thing do in Jersey? You got to do your Jersey turn. Also Michigan, right? These weird left turns in Michigan. You got where you have to come around and do a teacup turn, right? Michigan's got a lot of those too. So this stupid truck. But this truck does the same thing every day. That's what an autonomous truck would be good at. It won't make a left. He talked about it, that it doesn't make lefts. I like strong onions better than unions. Stronger onions are better. No, I don't think they're coming back soon, but I think he's in interest in selling as much stock. Steel Horse. Oh, I think you might have hit on something. Maybe if he could drum up some interest in his company, they can get some more funding and get some more money, right? And say, well, we're right on the verge of this. If only we could learn how to turn left in a cube truck, boy, we're on to something. It's decades for semis, where there's any numbers of them. Lucas, should I switch to 73% per load or stay with $1.65? I don't think $1.65 is great right now. As an owner-operator, I see many owners making twice that or more. But 73%, depends who's doing the loading. Who gets your loads? And there's some owner-operators on here that could talk more about that. But I do see owners making double $1.65. The 1099 companies in Chicago are in the west and northwest suburbs, not the north suburbs. Well, they sprinkle them around, but I agree with you, right. You just have to be careful anywhere that's within 50 miles of Chicago. I'm seriously considered leaving this W9, going to work for Timken as an experienced machinist. Oh, nice. 32 an hour to start, first day benefits. That's if you can do that job for 32, which of course would also be overtime. Wow, that's pretty good. That's what, $1,700 a week for 50 hours? I think they forgot about the public who can't stand semi-trucks. How will these autonomous trucks react to self-entitlement four-wheelers? I'm kind of torn. It depends who they ask, probably. The younger people will be like, yeah, autonomous trucks because, no drivers. That's why they're putting this out there. So I don't know. It might get accepted, but the thing can't turn left yet. The New Jersey jug handle, right? They're jug handles. Roger Penske, no fooling. The day after Halloween, Christmas radio stations in Phoenix went full time. Shopping at Walmart yesterday, Christmas music. Oh, they do light rock still at Meyer. Because I noted, they're cranking Rod Sterling. That'd be an interesting music. Rod Stewart today. Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing with Christmas music? It's not Thanksgiving. Where's all the Thanksgiving music? How about that? A driverless truck can't check in a shipper. It won't have to. It'll just show up, and why couldn't it actually check in at the shipper? To be honest with you. All right, so it goes to a shipper. Let's say it can go to the shipper. Why can't it call the shipper and send him a text? Why can't it have a voice? When it knows when it answers, hello, I am here to deliver your freighter. It could certainly send him a text. It could. I think it could check into the shipper. Michigan's putting roundabouts everywhere. We got a few of those go up, and they'll put a couple of them up, and then people crash. So they have to take them back down. Oh, dang it. They're like, doggone it. So people can't figure them out. I don't know why. They did a test on Mythbusters about roundabouts, and they're way better than an intersection. Truck drivers would turn into the Keystone Pipeline. Oh, you mean the closed one? Except when you try to run for political office, then all that comes back to haunt you and your freedom of speech is not so free. Yeah, isn't that sad? I think that's super sad. Why not? Why isn't his freedom of speech free? You have to support all speech, whether you like it or not. He has the same right to say things. And I may say, I don't like that, but I wouldn't say you can't say that. That's two different things. And certainly, if somebody is super offensive, I would want their speech out there to show how offensive they are. I don't want them silenced. They're just going to underground with their speech. If people are like crackpot weirdos or are totally offensive, let them say what they want. They kind of cancel themselves that way. But you never cancel somebody's speech. Because remember, then that same thing later, years from now, that turns on you when your speech is no longer acceptable to the majority. That's not how it works here. I don't like it. That's not freedom. They have better food on the north side. I love curry. It's a long drive to the north side, though, from here. And all the good pizza places are downtown. I just talked to my dispatcher, and I'm getting an almost $2,300 paycheck. That's not bad, Kelly. Yeah, that's very good. $2,300. That's the kind of thing that trucking can do for people in a short period of time. Even going from your couch today, that $2,300 check is not that far away if you really put your mind to it, and stay safe as a good driver. Wonder if a driverless truck will be able to use the air horn. Yeah, I don't see why not. There's no reason it couldn't be electronic, where it fires it off. Yeah. Everything that works on the truck could certainly be automated, where the truck could turn it on and off. George Wilson, me and Justin drink Mountain Dew because it's the breakfast of champions. The wife drinks Mountain Dew. Winners drink Mountain Dew. It will put stride in your step. I bet. She always says that. I don't like it. Too many people that are physically and mentally fit to work are getting paid to sit and do nothing. The least they can do is warm up a roller wiener. I know. I don't know what these people do for money when all these jobs are suddenly go for go wanting for people. Where's everybody working? How are they living is my question. When there's jobs available, you shouldn't be able to get unemployment for very long because you should have to go do something. How can we get the no trucks and left lane removed? How does this law make sense? Well, we have that here in Indiana on a 3 or more lane road in one direction. Trucks, semis are not allowed in the third lane, although they do go out there. It is a hefty fine here. And I agree with you. As long as you can roll along at least at the speed limit, okay, you should be able to hit the third lane to get around traffic or whatever. I totally agree with you. Why do they want trucks in the right lane holding everybody up coming down the ramps? Agree, but it should be speed limit only. If you can't maintain the speed limit, like your truck out west, say, the speed limit's 75 and you can't go 75, you can't hit the left lane. Then I don't like it. Bill of ladings need to be signed to return. More lumper fees. Always. At least we don't have to pay them. Breaking news, driverless trucks rear into cop car while driver was watching company safety video in the sleeper. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you just never know about this stuff. Look at Teslas do this stuff all the time. They're not good at seeing stop traffic yet. That's another thing they can't do. How they expect an autonomous truck to handle the snow-covered roads of Wyoming? It can't see the lines. They have a map. This company has a map on their website of how they're going to basically take over the country with autonomous trucks. And the map stops currently at like I-40 for years. And they're not up into the northern part of the country for a decade, where they just begin to do routes up there because they know right now they haven't even figured it out yet. And if this thing can't make a left, okay, it's a long way from the snow. And if it rains too hard, the sensor, at least on my truck here, stops working. In a heavy rainstorm, that sensor is blocked by water, by simple water. Oh, no sensor, so no, adaptive cruise and all that. Yeah, it turns all that stuff off. I will say it does better in the car. I went through a heavy storm and it did not turn it off in the car. It's been 6 months since the pay raise at GP Transco, so now a penny raise here, which is over $1,000 a year raise. Every penny right on the road is $1,000 to $1,250 or so a year for every penny that they give you. So that's money. People say, "Oh, just a penny." A penny is $1,000. All right, that's money. I like my union is mobbed up. That's the only way to have a union. You always got. That's why waste management always was the problem. Okay, Wayne, Christmas music until I hear Alice's Restaurant. No Christmas music. Exactly. Look, it's way early. Why are Christmas lights up? Why is there Christmas music? The station's changed to 24-hour Christmas music. I'm like, no more Bridge 17? Come on. It's actually a penny every 6 months, so twice per year. Oh, so that's even better. 2 cents. That's $2,000 a year. $2,000 a year just for that raise. And that's a life-changing thing from your couch to $100,000+ in a short period of time. That's why it's worth sending people to truck school. I'm 51 years old thinking about getting into trucking. I'm a machinist. I want to change. All right. I don't know what machinists make, but if you want to change into driving, go do it. Absolutely. Look, time is short on the planet. I'm always for that. So whatever it is you want to do, you should go do. I mean, if you don't like it, you always don't have to do it. But if there's something you want to do, why would you wait? What are you waiting for, right? Go do it. Go start immediately. And do what you want with your life. That's what life's about. No way I'd work for $1.65 if I had my own truck. The fuel's almost $4 a gallon. You're not making any money. Well, I was assuming $1.65 plus fuel. But I still think that's a low rate. I know several owners that are getting $3 plus fuel. That kind of money, $2.50 to $3.50 plus fuel. So $1.65 flat right now is not a great rate. Now, in 3 years, maybe if the rates are 90 cents, you'd be making the bank then, as the kids say. Police chase driverless truck after it leaves the driver at the truck stop. Driver at fault because it didn't leave its shoes out there. Okay, you got to leave your shoes up front so that people know you're gone. Or are cops allowed to just sit in the emergency lane taking radar? That's not an emergency to me. I agree with you. The police should not be in a lane that could be used by people on the road. Agree, and I would complain about that. Send them an email to whatever department that is. Hey, they're sitting here in traffic. And I always put on those kind of emails to the police department, you're being put on notice that your drivers are doing something unsafe. So that if there's ever an accident, right, the hammer will, of course, subpoena all their emails and see that they were put on notice. So I always tell them that. Steel horse. Don't worry about your age in truck driving. It doesn't matter as long as you're going healthy. Look, if you can pass a physical, you can drive a truck. And if it's something you want to do, go do it. Absolutely. Don't wait anymore. If it's something you want to do, it can be a great career. You see the whole country. Most, like everybody here, most people, right? I've hit all 48 states. I doubt I'd have that opportunity just driving my car around. It seems like there are a lot of bad drivers today. I've got flipped off 3 different times. So who's the bad driver, the car or you? I mean, if you keep getting flipped off, is it you? That's the question. Christmas trees shouldn't go up until Thanksgiving. Exactly. Are there trees up already? I haven't seen those yet in the windows. Oh my gosh. I've just seen the lights around the windows or whatever. Are people already putting their tree up? They're putting up a live tree. People are putting a live tree up in the first week of Thanksgiving and the first week of November. Good morning, Roller Wiener fans. What I miss? Million Miler. All right. Well, it's good to see you. Dihydrogen monoxide is not poison. It's just water. It seems to block radars. I will say that. Jeff Rays, if someone wants to sell barbecue cats, that person should be able to do so, as long as no one's rights is infringed upon. Exactly. Exactly. As long as by cats you mean hot dogs. The best pizza in Chicago is a small mom and pop joint in Diversey and Narragansett, near Old Brickyard Mall, patronized by members of the Chicago Outfit. Well, if they're in there, I would certainly go in there and try it. Got my CDL at 62, Captain Cleaner Wiener. That's pretty awesome. 62. What prompted you to go in there at 62 years old? I still think whatever you want to do, you should go do it, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. What would a driverless truck do with the paint jugs? It just throws out like a bucket of washers. Like a big jug full of washers. I got mine 3 years ago at 58. All right. Most of the time, today it's been whoever I use my horn because someone cut me off. Oh, okay. And that's so then you get in trouble? Got it. What's a good company to go with 4 years experience? Kim Trucker. Oh, well, that part of that depends on you, right? Where do you live? All that kind of stuff. How often you want to be home. And apparently with this ad that we saw from CRST, $22.40 a week, home daily. I mean, is that even? I'm going to have to call them from a fake number to see if that's even possible. I don't think it's possible. I'm going to start making dirty movies. I'm going to call it Lot Lizard Confessions. Believe me, if you make those, there's somebody willing to pay $3.99 a minute to watch them. Believe me, this is I think it's still there, right? Yeah. That is crazy. That kind of ad, I saw that and I'm like, is this even a possibility? When their road drivers don't make that they're running this kind of an ad right here in Indiana, $22.40 a week at CRST. I'm waiting to hear from them about it. Wonder if GP Transco will let me mount a reindeer head to the hood for Christmas. That's a good question. If GP Transco's still here, can drivers put, like a wreath on the truck or whatever, on a company truck? What would be the policy on that kind of thing? Inside's probably less of a problem. You just hang a light cord or whatever. But I do see drivers with wreaths on the front. What do you think about that? What are the benefits of marriage? Well, you have somebody to live your life with, so you're not alone your whole life. So you pick the right person. It turns out to be pretty great. So be sure to pick the right person. Kind of like a trucking company, right? Pick the right person. Kim Trucker, I heard Smith Transport pays an annual guarantee of $93,000 if you live east of 35. Oh, like this? Yeah, they do. How about that? That's not bad. $1,800 a week guaranteed pay. That's how you can contact GP Transco right there. Right there, you can get contacted right there. Want to run flatbeds? We can go do flatbeds. Just depends how you want to run. How do you want to run? Haul food around? We can haul food around. So there's lots of different ways to make money in trucking. A lot of good places, a lot of bad places. So just make sure you find a good one. Even, even during Christmas, the jukebox at the manhole still plays Macho Man. Yeah. The thing is, the Village People cover band, they do come in Christmas outfits. They have to fight to see who's going to be Mrs. Claus. Talking about a head from a roadkill. Does CRST make you take cold showers 3 at a time? Yeah. And they turn the lights out at the shower 10 also, probably. But that doesn't mean you don't have to take one. I can't wait to wear my Santa hat. Yeah, but please do wait till after Thanksgiving. There's no reason. You can currently put on your Thanksgiving hat. How about that? And Meyer was stupid with turkeys yesterday. So if you want a turkey, there were hundreds of them in the Star Surprise. They were 33 cents a pound, which I don't know if that's good or not. But that's how much they were at Meijer yesterday. Your choice of young and fresh turkeys, what I kind of got a laugh out of when I saw that on there. But they're 33 cents a pound, and there were lots of them, all different sizes. So they are already out, and you can get one today if that's something that you're going to be cooking at your house. The infrastructure bill, I wanted to talk to you about the infrastructure bill and some of the things in it, like $66 billion for Amtrak. So that's pretty good, right? Because, everybody wants to run Amtrak around the country, right? Flat Highway, I saw a guy hit a deer in front of a cop, get out and pull the deer in the back of his pickup and then get fined for hunting out of season. I wonder if they let you take those deers. If you've killed it, I suppose you should do something with it. My friend works at GP Transco, says he doesn't get many miles. He's only been there 2 weeks. Really? I mean, I will tell you this. I don't get those emails from people. I get emails from people at GP Transco that say, hey, we get a lot of miles. And so that doesn't seem to be a problem there. You should talk to his dispatcher or whatever and see what the problem is. I mean, certainly get that taken care of right away. If there's a problem, who knows what the problem is. So, also in the infrastructure bill, $8 billion for car charging, to charge your car. Electrified America. They're going to add car charging stations around the country. Isn't that great? That's all infrastructure, right? Yeah. How about $6.5 billion for rural internet access, so people in rural areas can have the internet? That's infrastructure, right? That all helps trucking. Women in Trucking came out and said that they love this bill, that it's going to encourage women, she said, to become drivers and lessen the driver shortage. Now, remember, the CEO of Women in Trucking doesn't drive and never been a driver. So just keep that in mind, kind of like the ATA. So CEO over there, Women in Trucking, not a driver. Interesting how all these driver organizations, they don't have drivers. That's funny, isn't it? Huh. Women in Trucking, not a driver. Does anybody else count the dead deer on the side of the road? No. I do it to pass the time. Yikes. No. Trucker Hershey got 3,150 miles last week. That's some rolling right there. Kelly in Oregon, if you hit a deer, you can take it with you, but you have to let the sheriff's department know. What do you call the sheriff? And go, what do they do? What does the sheriff do then? Do they write it down or something? Wonder why that is. Kim Trucker, he said it's Russian ran. I've been to GP Transco. Everybody in there, American. So, no, except for a couple German cars in the parking lot. So we'll give them a pass on that. It's not a Russian run. This is not a Chicago 1099 Russian company. All right, GP Transco, a legit W-2 company like every other company. So, Dot Foods in Vidalia, Georgia, those drivers do very well. Yeah, Dot Foods does good too, right? I also visited Dot Foods. Love it, right? Love it. Same in Ohio. So what if you don't call the sheriff? Does it go, I guess, does it count against your deer amount? Isn't there some kind of license? I don't hunt, so. I'd rather get paid by the hour than all the miles hurting my back and bad health just sitting for 12 hours per mile. Dope law. I just don't like mileage only because without a guarantee it can really hurt you. And then it gives them a reason to pay you all these other different ways. Then you get mileage plus stop plus dropping hooks plus detention plus layover plus breakdown. Just pay people by the hour. That's what I think is easier. But the other side of it, which I do hear from companies, is, look, Mark, if we pay people by the hour, they're not going to work. They'll slow down. They won't do as much work. And by the mile, at least, it encourages people to work. So I can see both sides of it on that one. Kelly got 3,600 miles this week. Wow, that's maxing out the miles right there. Why didn't you talk to them on CNN about stuff? Million Miler, Mark, what do you think of that thing, how Germany's solving the electrical truck problem? Oh my gosh, you know what? I'll tell you what. An astute viewer sent me a video with a truck that works like the buses. If you've ever seen an electric bus in a lot of towns, they have these things that mount on the top of the bus that touches electric wires, and that's what runs the bus around. In Germany, they're mounting these wires on the road, and they have electric trucks. So as you drive under the wires, you hit a button and the thing goes up there and it runs off the grid and charges the batteries. Then when you need to get off the highway, you just drive off the highway and that thing collapses back down to the top of the truck and you run off the batteries that are in the truck. Brilliant. I thought this is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. So if we put these out on the interstates, you wouldn't have to worry about plugging the thing in. It's charged from driving down the road on this electric grid, and just only your off-grid driving would be where you need batteries. It's super brilliant. I never thought of it. Right? Brilliant. A brilliant idea. I can't wait to see it here. I'd love to see. That would totally solve the electric truck problem. You would only need some diesel ones because you wouldn't electrify the whole country, but the majority of the country near large cities could all be electrical. Getting paid by the mile is so last decade. It's old. It's an old way of paying, but I guess it does kind of encourage people to work harder because the more you work, the more you make, where hourly people will not do as much work. Ugh. Man drops out of governor race after internet browser history was leaked. Did he drop out? Oh, is that some kind of breaking news? Did Edward Burder drop out of that race? Or is this a different one? Oh, that's right. He wasn't governor. Oh, my gosh. I only deal with Americans. Well, you never know who's an American. And look, people, I've always said people are allowed to come here, from anywhere and work if they're here legally. And GP Transco is an American company. It was founded here years ago. It wasn't like just brought up last week or whatever. I don't know where that gets out, I guess. But it's an American company. I was there. I have a video about that. You can see me talking to the people there. I don't know what else to say about it. Sir England should set up a couple of hammocks behind the camp to carry spare drivers to fill the front bunk as they quit. People quit so fast. That's why they put so many people in the truck. They just quit so fast that they have to just fill them in from the back of the truck. What's your friend saying? We'd like to look into his or her mouth to see if we can improve their experience and switch dispatcher. Yeah, I think, look, if you're at any company and you're like, oh, I'm only getting 1,200 miles or whatever, call them up and say, hey, I'm only getting 1,200 miles. I need to make some money. I want to work, so I want to make the company money, and so I can make money. That's how we do. CFI has a lot of YouTube drivers. You think they're giving driver kickback if they start making videos? Maybe. Are they all positive? Of course, you wouldn't put out a negative video at a company you work for because you wouldn't be there long. Maybe. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't know why more companies don't do that. Why don't they have some of their drivers put out videos for them in a true driver, like this is the day in the life of this driver or this driver, and then so they have all these different experiences that drivers have and they can show how trucking is. I think it's a great idea. I really do. Who better to speak for the company than drivers? My company encouraged me to drive slow and I get day pay. That's a safer way to do it, right? I think, but I don't think any company should encourage you to speed. No company should ever ask anybody to do anything that's illegal, over hours, speeding, anything. People in rural areas are too busy farming, except when their John Deere tractor needs reprogramming. That's why they need the internet. I don't think the internet, personally, is part of the Constitution. I've looked through it. I have a copy of the Pocket Constitution. Internet's not in there, so you don't have a right to it, so the government has no right to pay for it. That's what I'm saying. I want salary. There are some salary jobs around. There are some. I don't see that often either, though. But there are around. Have you heard about Hyliion? They are a powertrain company electrifying trucks with natural gas and a battery hybrid. I have heard some about them. I think this electric grid thing is a great idea. Natural gas, it's tough to fill that thing up. Where do you fill the natural gas truck up at the moment? It's funny that GP Transco pay their drivers. Are their drivers getting the miles? Yes, they do. So the ones, there's several on here right now, and they really do. Smith Transport had a YouTube ad showing a team driver run to Dallas paying $2,000 guarantee a week per driver, $104,000 for team. That's pretty good too. $2,000 guarantee. Boy, that's not bad. From going from your couch in a couple of years, a year or two, to making a $2,000 a week salary on a 3 weeks at school, you can't beat that with college. Even if you paid the truck school and it was $10,000, that's well worth it. I heard one of the owners was a Russian mob in Ukraine. I don't know about that. Okay. So I don't know where people get this kind of stuff. And even so, I don't know the owner of my company. So I don't know. For all I know, my owner's a mob here in the United States. I have no idea. So no, it is not a Russian company. Isn't Joe Biden the truck driver? He is. Why didn't CNN ask him some questions? Oh, he was busy changing his pants, I think, at that time. So I think that's what happened. That's true. Why don't they just ask Biden about it? He probably wouldn't answer questions, though. He's not good at answering questions. A GP Transco drivers average 2,800 miles a week and 90 a year with full benefits. Right. No 1099 stuff. Exactly. 90 a year. Full benefits. Nice truck. Absolutely. And a basketball court where you can shoot hoops. You can challenge me sometime. How about that? So you could give me the challenge. Would an ELD on board truck drivers not be able to loaf around when they are paid by the hour? Yeah, they would. They'll still loaf. Drivers will find ways to loaf. Companies just don't want to track it like that. But drivers always found ways to loaf. So there is a thing like that. You can kind of extend the day a little bit. I could see where that could happen. Some companies have no disclosure commitments. What is a disclosure commitment? 2030 Sierra England rolls out 4 bunk trucks. Look, if they figured out how to put a 4th bunk in there in the back, stack 3 in the back, I bet they would do it. Let's see. GP Transco, how many drivers are assigned to a dispatcher, and do dispatch teams compete on volume? Oh, that's pretty interesting. I will tell you, I saw these people sitting in there behind 3 screens, and I thought, oh, my eyeballs are going to come out of my head. We urge you to do first-hand research to Kim Trucker, right? Not based on hearsay, exactly. But Chicago area, it's just how it is there in Chicago. This is Joliet. Let's put it that way. Remember the Blues Brothers? Okay, what bad can come out of there? Hy-Vee in Iowa has a promotion. Buy a ham, get a turkey. I've never seen a $60 ham. Buy a ham for $60, get a free turkey. They were 33 cents a pound, and I don't know if that's good. So that gives you a 20-pound turkey at $6.60, right? And is that bad? I don't know. We don't cook a whole turkey here generally, so. Yeah, Kim, are you Russian? I mean, come on. Young and tender, that sounds like a talent night at the manhole. It did say that, and I thought, who names their turkeys young and tender? I mean, is that what you want to go, hey, you got any of them young and tenders around here? Depending on where you say that, you can go to jail for that and have to register. So I wouldn't have named my company that, or whatever the name of the company was. Jeff is happy with the miles. Yeah, absolutely. Dispatchers have 10 drivers, and load planners are being competitive with planning loads. Getting drivers, that's pretty awesome. They make them compete against each other. I never heard of that. That's pretty good. I get more middle finger for doing the speed limit than anything. People probably gripe at me in Indy about it, but, it's a 55 through there, and that's all I can do about it. It's a 55, so what can I do? I get more. I just lost that one. Right. Let's see. You sure look. You went at the man. Well, there's not as much hunting as there used to be. Can GP get you a job if you have the experience level? Absolutely. There are a lot of existing natural gas stations, not enough to convert every fleet, but enough to get started. Okay, look, anything that's alternative like that, I'm in for. I love this electric idea where you just charge as you go and then drive off. I mean, how great is that? I mean, that was you wouldn't need as big of batteries, too. I thought about that about the truck. You would not need as many batteries because the thing is being charged while you go. So you only have a short time off the grid and you're back on the grid again. So that could convert to freight. So the thing is lighter. I thought, this is an even better idea. Not to mention companies could install them at terminals. I see Amazon using natural gas trucks in PA. Yeah, for something like that, the company could install at the terminal. Absolutely right. How much experience do you have at CDLA? What type of drug testing do they have? I always love that question. Hey, what kind of drug? Don't ask a company what kind of drug testing they have. I will say that. If you want to know a company's drug testing policy, either look it up or ask somebody else that works there, whatever. But a company be like, the Jeffrey Epstein turkeys. These turkeys aren't going to hang themselves. Monica Lewinsky, young and tender turkeys. I didn't think it was a great thing. Young and tender. I didn't know if that was a good name. It's not like someone else is going to pay your speeding ticket. Yeah, I mean, look. They should all be going the speed limit too. And I don't understand. There's some UPS trucks at night. A lot of Dayton freights are going through. They're passing me. Are they not paid by the hour? What are they doing? Why are we going 70 miles an hour in a 55? That's 15 over. That's a reckless on your license. That's a major violation on your license if you get caught. No way is that worth it. The company doesn't pay me to break the law. And you shouldn't break the law for a company. That's not why you're being paid. I heard GP has regional and over the road. And that a driver's only been at GP Transco 2 weeks. Yeah, they do have different things. You'll have to talk to them about how they work regional and over the road. Anymore, just stay in the right lane, do the speed limit. Good way to avoid congestion, especially at night. I'm coming back through Indy early in the morning. It's mostly trucks, but a lot of them are going fast. Back in Lancaster, picking up Caterpillar parts, enjoying nice weather. Are you coming up here with those? We have a large Caterpillar facility right here in Lafayette. They make marine engines, and they're huge. One of them goes on a flatbed. GP doesn't give the chances to drivers that are messed up. A lot of companies are going to have a problem with your record. It's just the truth of the industry. You can get in. It's going to be difficult. It's brilliant charging the truck with the wires. It's a great idea. If they put these wires on the interstate, you could charge while you're driving, and then when you get off, you're running the truck batteries. And then when you get back out, you wouldn't have to find a place at a truck stop. I thought, oh my gosh, this is super brilliant. That's all we would need to do is put them over the highways. You're already driving down the interstate. The button and the thing went up on top of the truck, and it touched the wires, just like the buses do in towns and trains, right? Some trains do it. Leads to a company, I'm getting $1.68 with the fuel and 100% fuel discount. Oh, wow, $1.68 with fuel doesn't seem great today to me, considering what I see owners getting. You know, $1.68 is not great, I don't think. But I don't own a truck, so I just see owners getting, you know, at least $1 more than that. String up electrical wires along the highway system would be a logistical nightmare. I think it's better than trying to get truck stops to install a charger. You have only that one spot. All they got to do is hang these wires over the road. Is it a nightmare? Maybe. Would it pay off? I don't know. I mean, it would pay off for the trucking company. Referring to my Lithuanian coworkers as Russians is like calling a Texan a Canadian. Exactly. If you read about passing a drug test, you do not need to be driving a truck. It's a bad question to ask a company. I will tell you this to anybody. Don't ask a company what kind of drug test you give. Hey, which drug test do you give? I don't think that's a great idea. The truck I drive has ball tires and they won't change them. Oh, well, easy. You poke a hole in them. All right, I don't know what to tell you. You don't drive a truck, that's not safe for the road at any company, and it's just that simple. Because, look, you are out there with your family. So you tell them, look, you're changing these tires or this truck's not going anywhere. Take pictures of them, and then if they go, you're fired, you go, all right, well, we'll just send these pictures over to the DOT and make some phone calls. That's how we're going to do it. So I will say any company that would, if you show them actual tires that are bald, right, and they won't change them, this is not worth working for. Get the heck out of there. What do you think the Biden cabinet is trying to hide with the JFK files to refuse to release? I saw this. Oh, my gosh. People asked for these files, and they said, oh, well, we have to delay them because of COVID. I'm like, that happened in the 60s. Were they still delayed? Why are these not being released? So isn't that funny? They say, oh, well, there's no conspiracy. All right, well, do you think in 50, 60 years you could release a couple of files? It just looks, the longer you hold it, the worse it looks. And maybe that's a diversion, but I don't know. I saw that. They won't release them. Oh, well, he had some problems because of COVID. We're delayed. Like, didn't that happen in 63? You've been delayed since 63 with COVID? Or is that when they were inventing COVID? Y'all see the video of the teen stealing a truck in Los Angeles? Is that the guy that drove through the house, right? I'll be glad to use the wires to run my microwave while driving down the highway. And the air. It would run all that. It would run the truck just like it runs the truck. It's a great idea. And charge the batteries. Brilliant. Oh my gosh, it's the most brilliant thing I've seen in a long time. Then when you drive off the road to go off to your appointment or whatever, then the truck just converts to the batteries that are in the truck, and you come back on the highway and it charges back up. Brilliant. It's a great idea. If you're getting paid by the mile, then yes, you're paid to ignore the law and move as fast as you can without regard. The mileage does encourage you to speed, although you shouldn't speed. It would encourage you to speed to make more money. Hourly encourages you to run the speed limit to make more money. So that's pretty good. Lithuania fought quite hard against communism during the Soviet era. Not all places are the same. Right. I bet you're not a truck owner. Our cat plant in Sanford, North Carolina makes those small tracked front loaders. Oh, all right. We have a huge marine cat plant here. 1 engine per trailer. They come out of there all the time. Gigantic engines. Don't let YouTube drama decide what company you should go to. Certainly, the YouTubers not paying your bills or feeding your family. Absolutely. All right, always do your research. Talk to other drivers at a truck stop. That's the best way. Go find some random driver that works there and say they're already there. So they must think something about it and ask them what's going on. You know. Those wires sound good until Swift hits a power station. Somebody, I thought about this. Some dump truck is going to come up there with the bed up and take all those wires out. That's actually what I thought. I get paid 86 cents a mile, $10.99, a paper log truck. Great money, but no benefits. Okay, look, whatever works for you. I'm just no fan of $10.99. I would never work for it, so that's just not for me. $10.99. I'm not running an illegal, $10.99 deal here, and I can't recommend it to people. Trains running an overhead electric only run a few trains at a time. The infrastructure necessary to support the thousands of vehicles in that circuit would be insane. But a train takes more power. What do you think about that? A truck would only use, what, a couple hundred watts of power? I'm not positive about that. Get it? Positive? Your company won't change your tires, stick nails in to close the sidewalls. They can't patch them. A company that will let you run on bald tires will patch a sidewall. How about that? I'll have to wait till I'm clean. I smoke in my truck. Well, some companies won't let you smoke in the truck. Let's see. If you take prescription drugs that will show positive, the medical review officer will report back and negative. If it's a legit prescription, you can take basically whatever you want, and as long as you got a prescription for it. So there's the drug test A, B, or C class only. Which class are those in? That don't study for it. Certainly. I read on that Lithuania fought hard for freedom and earned it. That's how you get freedom. You have to earn it. It can't be handed to you. It's always got to be something that you get and maintain. That's why we have to maintain people's freedom to speak here, even if their speech is offensive to us or to others. If I think, oh, that speech is going to offend somebody else, that's too bad. People still get to say it. Oversized load might be the only problem with the electric overhead interstate. Nothing over 14.6. Well, in the video that was sent to me by the viewer, it's only in the right lane. So, it just depends. So they could run one lane of these, and the oversized could do the other lanes. And maybe it wouldn't have to be all the way. You wouldn't need like thousands of miles of it. I don't know how fast it would charge. It would just be in certain areas. Maybe it could be around large cities so that the gaps in between the large cities, drivers could drive on the batteries, and they're only these every so many miles to kind of juice the truck up. I don't know. I just thought this is a great idea. I'll drive 85 miles an hour everywhere. That gets you around places. Companies save $30,000 a year or more when hiring a 1099 without benefits compared to W-2. Perhaps consider asking for more pay. Yeah, they save. That's the thing. They save all the money. And then you get no benefits at all, and not just health care, but workman's comp and all these other benefits that are very expensive. Employees cost a lot of money. We're very expensive, and we're worth it. 1099 is a ripoff. At some point, the pay becomes worth it, I think. But, 86, which is pretty close to what you can get as a company driver now, overall. I don't know. And that's not worth it. Think about local cartage work or dump work in the Chicago area. Some of the small companies may give you a second chance. Go look at these cartage places. Anything that can get you into a truck would be the way to do it. I get a refund. Who cares what they save? You guys paying into government? I'm free with VA benefits. Well, it matters what they save because that savings should go in your check. That's how it works. Mark is at the 8 mile. Always up there. With the electric above the road, wouldn't you look like a bunch of bumper cars? It would. It would exactly look like that. If you guys, not everybody, I guess, has lived in a town that's got electric buses or trains. But, a lot of larger towns have electric buses and trains, and they run the overhead wires. They run a thing that touches the wires. And the truck, it just went up and down. The buses, it's always connected. And I thought, oh, this is brilliant. I see a lot of these are overseas, too. They'll run these trains and buses down the road on overhead electric lines. Brilliant. You still need to pay tax. The company saves it because they don't have to pay for your benefits and disability. To each their own. Agree. I avoid my high blood pressure medication. Please, if you have high blood pressure, please take your medication. I can't have people dropping off the show like that. The owner of my truck says if my tires go flat, I'll buy new ones. Okay. What a great place. Any company, look, hey, if they go flat, I'll get you another one. Well, what do you know about that? Where will the electric power come from? The grid. The doctor told my girlfriend I need oral treatment 2 times a day for 5 months to be cured. Sweet. Drivers, while you're speaking for me, people are just commenting on what you're saying. Drivers that take prescriptions need to refer to Schedule 2 of DOT banned medications. The Soviets tried to extinguish the Lithuanian language, I believe, one of the oldest languages in the world. We should always crush communism and fight for freedom wherever you are. Like this guy, Edward Durr, who has the right to say whatever he wants without being where he can't live his life. Like, we're afraid to say anything because somebody might come up years later and say, you know what, this one thing you said all these years ago, you can never do anything. It's wrong. It doesn't matter. I don't care that people are offended. Be offended. You can still, I don't know if people know this, but some people in society don't realize you can be offended and still live your life. You can. 1099 means no benefits, means no work and no workers' comp insurance. Yeah, when you get hurt, which drivers are likely to get hurt, unfortunately, many drivers get hurt and there's sometime in their career, they're like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Have a nice day. And I do get those emails from people. They're like, Mark, what do I do now? I go, I guess you pay your hospital bills. In Germany, trucks are only allowed to go 50 on the Autobahn, and four-wheelers go 150. Whoa. So trucks are 99% right lane. Not like here in the States where trucks go 70 and matching car speed. Wow, I cannot imagine. I've seen kind of videos about this. I think it'd be cool in person to be cruising along at 150 and pass up trucks going 50. That'd be scary that somebody's moving a lane over or something. Wow. Socialism is better than communism. Freedom is better than everything. That's what I'm going to go for here. How's the grid power generated? Elves. All they do is shovel some coal into a big thing, right, and spin it around, and then there's power. It's pretty simple. Fun fact, a birth control pill in German is anti-baby pill. Very good. That's very good. That's good. I think that'd be allowed under schedule on one of the schedules here too in the United States. I'm not sure. Believe me. I just thought the bus thing was brilliant. Oh, Wisconsin, by the way, says for snow removal this year. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do much of that. Sorry. They actually make an announcement. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation says we don't have enough people. We normally have 1,500. We only have 1,200 people. So we're down, and snow removal may take a lot longer, and some roads may not get any snow removal at all. Sorry. There's nothing we can do about it. So they said be careful this winter and bring food. They actually commented bring food and supplies with you if you travel across Wisconsin in the winter. That's good to know. Hey, we might not be able to do anything to the roads. So, bring some spam from the Spam Museum. Give me liberty or give me death. Exactly. You have to support everyone's, right to run for office and still say things that might offend people. Sorry. But don't worry. They found all these new votes. I love that. Way after the election. Whoa. They found 12,000 more ballots we got to count. Everybody's votes got to count, right? Right. So they're going to find just enough votes because the election's very close. I think they'll find enough votes to get the other guy in office. He hasn't conceded yet, the guy that's in there. And certainly he's probably going to keep his spot. That's what I think will happen. We'll see how these votes go. It'd be amazing how that happens, how they find votes later. I think that's pretty good. So what do you think about that CRST job as we wrap up that I posted out there? Does anybody really think CRST is paying $2,240 a week for local work in Indianapolis? Or is that just to get people to call? Now, I checked. They've run that ad twice on Craigslist, so it's not a misprint. Or if it is a misprint, they've just cut and pasted it. I cannot imagine that their CRST, of all places, is paying $22.40 a week for local work in Indy, home every day. That's in the ad. That I would find that to be amazing. And I think they wouldn't have to get anybody to do it. They must have drivers that live in Indy that would do that for probably to double their road pay that they're making at a place like CRST. Once you let socialism prevail, you roll out the mat for communism. Hey, welcome in. Communism leads to Sierra England. Then everybody's got to stay in the same truck. Now what? That's all the freedom we get is to move around an 8x6 box at Sierra England. I don't think they ever are, but I want to hear how they lie about it. I know. I wish they would answer emails, which they won't do. There's no way they can pay $22.40 local in Indy. It's just got to be impossible that they're paying that kind of money. They're paying $110,000 for drivers that are home every day in Indy. When they got the road drivers there making $800 a week, I just can't believe it. Before taxes and truck fees, I looked at that. I thought, oh, is this for owners? No, this is W-2, health insurance, starts day one, all that stuff. These are employees. This is not somebody buying a truck. So with CRST, I bet there's a lot of ways for them to get out of paying you that much. You're going to have a lot of mad drivers, although I guess you'd get people. But look, they go in thinking $22.40 and they start getting $1,200 or whatever, they're going to quit. They are absolutely going to quit. Yeah, I'll have to get a number to call them. They already know my number, and they won't answer my emails because, they don't like me that much. So I have to call them on a different number, so because they've already been called. And the companies keep some kind of blacklist of numbers, really. I want to encourage everyone, if they don't have one yet, to go get a blue parrot, okay? Always put something on your head. Don't get a ticket, okay? That's me as a baby. People don't know that. In 1989, right? And so if you wear it, make it a parrot. I want to thank GP Transco for being on here today and answering questions, and just in general being on the show, and just being a great company, to be honest with you. I'm meeting everybody. We'll see you in the spring. How about that? We'll come up spring or summer next year and just see what's going up there at GP Transco. One of your trucks was stopped at the Loves, sleeping, trying to be hiding back there, but it was like a maroon truck. I thought, oh, this got to be an owner-operator. So that's all. That's all I got to see on that. Let's see who was here. Oh, Fleet Nav Systems was here today, too. Thanks for being here today, Fleet Nav Systems. And Cassius King Trucking, of course, here today. Go see Cassius King Trucking for all of your questions answered over there. And I always thank Jay on the show, naturally, for bringing the show to life, basically. And I want to tell everybody also that I'm not an attorney. So for people that don't know it, there may be people that don't know that, but that is in fact the case, that I am not an attorney. So where do you work? Well, as the show ends, all right, I try not to tell people where I work. It keeps them out of my channel so they don't have a say in what I say. So that's the best way to do it. I also don't recruit for them. If you pay me, I'll apply and see for myself. Yeah, I don't want you to apply. I just want to know what they're doing. What are they doing? CRST can't remember standard transmissions. That's everywhere, right? We haven't gotten a standard in years. We've got a couple left, but that's it. We don't get any new ones in. Call them doing an Elvis voice. Yeah, I'm here to work. I don't know if I could do that one. The U.S. military is extremely a communist organization. That's true. Do what we say or you get in trouble. If we go electric grid trucks, how are all those cities going to make up for all the missing idling fines? Oh, you wouldn't have to idle either, right? See, all this stuff works out good. Electric, right, way more efficient for the energy. Right, I'm in. I'm totally in. It'd be like the trucks getting 25 miles to the gallon. So absolutely, I'm in. Thank you for another great show. Be sure to email us the info. Yeah, whoever that winner was, I hope you email me your information so I can send it over there to GP Transco. So how about wireless charging like phones? Well, but you have to be too close to the thing. I can't imagine. You could do wireless. I can't imagine the power you'd have to put out, though, because the distance, the touching the wires works better at the moment. And remember, your phone to wireless charge, it's got to sit on that pad, right? The wife's got one of those little pad things for her phone, and it's got to sit on top of that. It doesn't go very far, so I'm not sure. When are you going to do exposed bottomly? I don't know about exposing. I want to expose their bottom. That's for sure. I don't know about exposing them. Juan, awesome live show. Have a good week. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for being here, George Wilson. Thank you. And Aviator Trucker, the greatest invention that ever succeeded, the cordless extension cord. Yeah, we could. What about Bluetooth in those trucks, too? That's the last thing I want you to think about this week. How about if we Bluetooth the electric trucks? How about that? Government won't take a loss. Oh, yeah, they'll raise road use per mile rates. The government will never lose money on that. That's why they're here in Indiana for electric cars, because they don't get anything from the pump. They charge them an extra $150 for their plate a year. So they get the money back from easily. Raise taxes on the rich. Those dang rich people until we become rich. Sunday Rant must find a Vespa. If there was a Vespa around, I'd be in. Most people put those things inside, though, because the places are closed. So I don't get, like, there's a Harley, there's an Indian dealer here. Those are never out. So we got to go find a kind of a classic kind of car, that I can find. And there's not that many cars around anymore. The magnetic field for wireless charging with a truck would be dangerous. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine the power, plus the power increase it would take. That'd really be something. You'd have to have that gigantic round thing they have to park next to. So that'd be really weird, too. What company are you an attorney for? They wish. They wish I was an attorney there, right? So, but I have to head out. Let's see. George H.W. Bush was first today, which I appreciate. Always the president coming in first. Always on top of it. Unlike that has to change their pants a lot. John Zay Black was here today. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Oh, Well Doggies was here. Thank you for being here. Captain Cleaner Wiener was here today. I appreciate you coming in. Let's see. Where did I go off to? Mark Lindquist was here. Steel Horse. Oh, thank you for being here today. Jerry Smith was here. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you coming in and putting out your information there. Let's see, where am I? Oh, Million Miler. I think I know who that is, right? Thanks for being here. Paladin, go get a suntan in your old time zone. Thanks for coming in. So, dang, it's so warm over there. I can't take it. Kay Wayne was here. Let's see. So I'm going to head on out of here today and see what's going on before they gripe at me over there. Well, doggies, let's see, where did I go off to? Oh, let's see. And Kelly Patterson was here, so I'm going to do this. Oh, that right there, and that moves this. All right, and so thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll have more videos and stuff this week. Remember, Bluetooth, I think that's the key. Bluetooth the trucks. I think we can Bluetooth wirelessly charge the electric trucks. I think that's the way to do it. So that's what we're going to do. Thanks for being here. Be safe this week, and we'll see you in the next video.